Finally, I have everything that I need. Thanks to that mad poet, I have the Necronomicon and a destination, finally, to locate the forgotten city of Neruzavin. This journey will be a long one, surely across land and seas both. But after all the effort that has been put forth, after everything I have attempted over the last few years, this is the victory lap. I will be denied no longer. The black stars beckon, and I will find them. I am Count Hasserton Lowells IV, and when I am done here, no academic throughout the inner seas will forget this name. Somewhere, deep within these sands, I will build history.
That's the I didn't die in the dream dance, I guess.
No, this
It's a
is
little
the
bit
I
inappropriate.
won dance
Dance
right
in
here.
the presence of mixed company.
Only a couple people can do right now. 5 down, 2 to go. As we continue to work our way down the list of gifts that Count Lowells IV had once assembled to petition the aid of the mad poet in the Dreamlands, we are nearing the completion of that very same goal. It has not been without cost nor sacrifice. As you awake this morning from your latest adventures into the dead city of Sarnath, Easy still remains as he has now for days. He has not stirred, he has not moved. He has shown absolutely no indication whatsoever of breaking free from this seemingly perpetual coma. He did not return at all from one of your dreams, but this morning, as you awake, though the 5 of you are all here, not all of you have made it back intact. Let's go around the table and introduce our players as they awaken this morning, one ostensibly like any other, preparing for yet another day of their voyage.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the ghoul dwarf ranger. Marius is initially wakes up feeling pretty decent. Still feeling a little bit weird finding out that he's very legally dead by magic law. But
you kind of got really confronted with that one in that dream, because that's an interesting thing that I even did not really consider, is that for all of the He Who Funny Cube we had going on, it's really the first you are dead. You are the only thing that could not pass through that cube. You are undead, fully, completely, and truly. You have most of your mind. You feel the same, more or less. That hunger always calls to you, but you've been able to sate it, to largely push it to the side, but you are not like the rest of those on this ship.
So he's feeling pretty decent, having come out of that whole battle and feeling successful with it initially upon waking up. With that kind of gnawing at the back of his mind, though, I'm sure he'll start to feel weirder as the rest of the morning goes on.
Hi, I'm Colby, and I play MD, our very large, full-blooded orc rogue. He's generally very stoic and very calm and shows very little emotion in most scenarios, but he wakes up a little bit later than normal. Normally, he's the first one to wake up, even coming back from these dreams. It's just how he does. But he wakes up almost last. And really, they give a more description of how he's feeling because it's a hard thing to convey through visual. It's a weight lies on his chest and there's a heat welling up behind his eyes, and he is almost crying. His shoulders are hunched a little bit and he's almost curled himself up without really, just small, making himself as small as he possibly can be, as he just looks over the rest of the group, seeing everyone else awake and moving.
At the end of our previous episode, you were unable to make it from the dream. You and Trey had rushed forward to do everything you could to get a hold of this idol, and to do everything you could to ensure that none of the rest of your allies would be left behind. But in that, you did sacrifice yourself and awoke broken with your first madness, melancholy. You made it a truly impressive distance into this adventure before breaking, but eventually the stress does take its toll.
What was the name of the first break that I got? The buff. Because I have lost it over time.
Let me dig through my rules here.
See,
Here are
if
the
you would
ones
keep
that
your
are
level
good.
3 character
You
sheet.
have courageous. You have courageous,
And minor psychosis.
and you have minor psychosis. Which does, I like, the application on that one's pretty fun. But you do-
Exactly.
you do have
That's why I needed to know the name.
courageous and minor psychosis are the two that you have.
So, howdy. I'm Derp, and I play Trey, the Hobgoblin frontline fighter who focuses now on shield and pokey stick. And contrary to the norm, I am the first one awake. I am up. I am almost manic. I stared an elder god in the face, and I won. I got to wake up victorious, and I feel great. Didn't really notice that other people didn't make it out. Hasn't even been brought to my attention yet. I'm just parading around, excited. Oh, did you see how I... Like, constantly just hyped up. Because it's been, what, like 10 seconds since that happened for me?
It's you immediately.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's
True.
so real.
You haven't even noticed yet.
Yeah,
the
like
fate
I
of
haven't
Cassomir
noticed
allies.
that, haven't
And I
noticed
imagine
that.
if there's someone sharing in your revelry here, perhaps it would be Cammy. Who also did not see, well, all of that,
Yeah.
but
Cammy.
definitely saw some.
I'm Sully. I play Cammy, the itty bitty gnomish witch, who, upon immediately awaking from the dream, a flood of relief, coming so close to being just wiped out, and after kind of like catching her breath a little bit and sort of coming down from that excitement, would see MD, who she could not get out of the dream. And so I think that we would sort of find her kind of sort of like nodding to Trey, because they did it. We did do it. We did succeed. But Cammy at the end of the day is like her. I feel like one of her principal traits is cowardice. Truly, and she knows
It's about
that.
being honest with yourself.
I mean, truly, I really, and she knows that she would not have made it even as far as she has so far if it weren't for MD and the people who are braver than she is. So I feel like she would be sort of just seated near, not really knowing what to do with it, just sort of staring at MD, because usually the script is kind of flipped with them.
My name is Brett, and I play. Well, right now he's in human form, but he also mainly is in a fox form, Reginald Sedacious Fox, and so a little perturbed. A little perturbed. As we're there, and you guys are all celebrating, I give you guys your few moments, and I'm like, can I speak to you all for a moment?
Yeah, of course. Told you it was going to be wild.
Yes. That was horrendous. We were successful, but to be honest with you, a little bit of communication would have helped me. I understand there is a building of trust that we're still doing, but sometimes what happened was I went through something quite painful, and I didn't know how to get out of that. Some communication would have been great. Like, hey, you need to go to sleep in the middle of battle. I didn't figure that out until I saw you do it. And that was hard.
Wait.
That was really hard. I had no idea what to do.
You're saying you didn't make it out? Like, you didn't wake up?
No, I just experienced death. One of the reasons why I go into what I go into is so I don't feel pain and I can help people not feel so much pain. That was horrible. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think you guys did this maliciously. But sometimes what's worse than doing something maliciously is doing something careless. And I think we could have got out of there with a little bit of planning.
We did just stare down an elder god.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really give you much of a rundown about how things work in the Dreamlands either.
Yes. Well, I'm just going to need a few moments. But if we can, going forward, just any time we're in something where I don't know and you guys do know the scenario, if we can just take a few moments to give a little rundown, that would be good. And I'll try and ask questions.
This is what you're signing up for, honestly. And you look to the side, the group of you, and see I would almost categorize unofficial sixth member of the party here with Reese.
Support member.
The
honorary
support
We can
member.
vote on it.
We can vote her in.
Yeah.
If you,
But
if you
all
so
in favor?
choose.
We can get her a jacket to match.
Yeah. No.
Mental scars to
Little
match.
like
Jacket
sew
to
on
match.
pendant. We can't afford a
Still-
whole jacket.
Standing over Easy's bunk, where he lays motionless. You hadn't seen her turn away from him this morning yet, even with Trey's celebrations until this, but she looks straight at Reginald. You want answers that none of us have. If you want to travel with us, if you want to pursue Lowell's, if you want to step in his wake, this is just how things are. You're not the first, and God's willing, you might be the last, but I doubt it, to be pulled into whatever chaos we're stuck tracing. I've been pulled into these before. I don't know what you saw. It doesn't. Every time they come back, the story's different, but there's never a plan. There never can be a plan. We have no idea what we're up against.
Well, there's just basic mechanics, right? Just some simple communication of falling asleep whenever you're in the middle of something. I mean, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have gone through this. You guys have gone through many things, and you are on a crazy adventure, and I have been somewhat tailing behind you and trying to catch up with you all, and you all have left somewhat of a chaotic trail. Now, I say that in children is what this reminds me of sometimes. You guys are very young. You're not young body-wise, but you guys are learning a lot of things. And I'm now realizing what I'm getting myself into. There's a bit of chaos. Again, not on purpose, but there's just a lack of experience that I don't know truly how you guys have lasted this long.
To be fair, normally when we go to a dream, We go, we do a thing, we finish, and then we take our time and wake up. This is the first time that we've shown up and an elder god came to step on us.
Yeah.
I was expecting to take you into the dream, show you how things work, and walk you through it. We didn't get that chance.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, I would like to just debrief for myself just a few minutes away.
Feel free.
Were we in the
Be in the cabin of the ship.
Cabin,
at this
so
point, but
I'm-
you can
I'm-
certainly head out on the deck.
I'm just going to step out to the deck and just get some fresh air.
And you would have been the second of the casualties during this last dream foray. MD not the only one to fall at the hands of this ritual, and what may very well have been the full and true elder god Bokrug. You, too, were unable to escape that behemoth's wrath. And when you awoke this morning, you had found what certainly doesn't feel like it, but a commonality with one of your new traveling companions, an overwhelming paranoia. Though while Cammy's is very much focused on people she doesn't know and can't trust, well, honestly, so too is yours. You don't know these people. You only know they're henchmen of the man that you are trying to track down and find reason with. As you head onto the deck, Reese looks over towards Cammy, the group of you all, I imagine, still in the cabin. And she looks angry, if anything. And she takes a step over and just looks down at you and shakes her head. He's alive. He's awake. He glances back towards Easy's unconscious body. What rune does he have to complain? And then she
Nobody.
heads out onto the deck as well before you can even respond. Not following you, but very much giving you space. Leaving the four of you here in the cabin. Now, it's not all downsides here. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. While that may not be entirely true in all cases here, at least, the group of you are now level 10. Something that we did settle in between the shows here. Welcome to the midpoint of your journey, categorically, of your growth as people and as, well, step away for a second, Pathfinder characters. By 9 and 10, you're kind of getting into the meat of what all of you can really do. And by 10 specifically, everyone gets that extra little bump in your, mostly in your core stat to make you get a little bit stronger.
Strong.
3
strength.
reactions a turn.
3 reactions a turn.
Me too.
Fighter man. 3 possible reactions a turn, maybe.
I love reactions. I have
Well,
so
to be fair,
many.
one of them has to be shield block. One of them has to be AOO.
Oh, you get the second AOO at 10.
Yeah,
that's
combat
such-
reflexes.
it's
That's nice.
Such a good double AOO is such
That's
a good
really,
feat.
that's really sweet.
Now I can do polearm things.
Yeah, what he said. I got cool stuff too.
And you're also
Oh, I also took a really cool thing.
He's so excited.
he's so pumped.
Nimble shield hand. My hand is not occupied when using a heavy shield.
Just
Does not
that
apply to
new?
tower shields. That's
crazy.
Bastion.
Oh, it's part of Bastion. Bastion's
Crazy.
That's a level 10 Bastion. Or it's like level 4 by
Since this is my first ever actual Pathfinder campaign, this isn't something I've ever experienced before. I have abilities that have over 20 now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Also,
Welcome to big numbers.
speaking of which,
Wait,
guys,
how big is the
my
hole
HP,
in your character sheet?
my HP is finally over 100.
We have reached one-third.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's right.
The baby
I'm
will
finally
be
up there.
safer.
But do you know
Thank
who
you.
has the most HP in the party?
Wait,
I
Me.
would guess the orc, man.
No, he's not even close.
Really?
Is it you?
No.
Is it Marius?
No way is it.
What do you have,
serious?
18 con?
I'm
Yes.
We're both 18
Yeah.
con, we're both D10s,
He's a
but he's a
dwarf.
dwarf. He gets
He's
2
a
extra
dwarf.
health.
I forget
Wait,
Ranger's
what's your
D10.
number? Do I even want to know? Is that going to really...
150.
it's like 100.
I'm only at 98.
it's
I didn't
150.
hit over 100.
He's the new
Correct.
baby.
New baby.
New baby.
I just
You're
got
the
it.
baby.
This is too soon. I just
You're
got
the
it.
baby.
His AC is still 3 higher than yours.
I'm at 142.
No, stop! Don't
No.
say this
You
stuff.
know
I'm
what's
just
really
riding a
cool
high.
is
What's your
being
AC?
allowed
Are
to
you
wear
serious?
armor is
Yup.
like really cool. It
Yours
turns
is 25, his is 28.
It's 26. I'm wearing a little jacket.
Oh, did you upgrade it?
No.
Should be 25. You were 24 last level.
No, I am. Well, I was 24 with my jacket on.
Yeah,
No,
so
you're 25 with
So
the jacket
25
on.
with my jacket on. I'm 26
okay.
with the jacket on.
Hey,
well,
26.
then-
Jacket's important.
I gotta edit my
That's
number.
Cool.
I'm 26 with a
is-
jacket on.
She did it.
I'm 26 with a jacket on.
Was it
That's
warm?
nearly true, huh?
Does it keep you warm? The jacket keep you warm?
It's a cloak
Oh, it's
that we stole.
fantasy.
I think
I
it's
just-
actually
cloaks.
it was Reese's. We stole it.
It was Reese's.
And you know what?
It
I don't
was
think we've ever
Reese's
had that
jacket.
conversation.
Technically,
She's
you are
just gonna-
actually wearing the jacket in Reese's picture here. That is what
Which
you
is
have
why I
on.
look so
You-
sick all the time.
You have the brown leather jacket that you
I've-
stole from her bedroom while you were busy
Are we looking
raiding
for
the
a new
manor.
agreed upon
should
party
change
hottie?
the color.
Because if I have that jacket on, it is me.
I still think it's
You know
Mario.
you're
You can't just
about-
claim it yourself.
What
It
are
has to be
I'm saying
bestowed
what
upon
we
you.
all know, which is
How
that
about
that
that?
jacket is cool.
How have we not gotten you like a brown costume jacket yet?
don't
Because
know.
it would be so
I think you said it was
funny
green
just
too.
over all of
If I could
this.
get like a lime green, like to
That's
match
the
with-
only costume you have is your
Here I
jacket.
am.
You're just a guy.
Yeah. Now you're just a dude.
Hold on.
Goodbye, Derp.
Ugh.
Sometimes you gotta take a midstream costuming break.
That's true. She does
Yeah.
look cool.
Everybody
gosh.
has the black jacket, so
yeah,
she does.
that's
she
also
does have
pretty. It's
the-
pretty sick.
It's okay. She had extras. She had her entire wardrobe. You guys, didn't come into this world with. Oh, he's coming to the pipe armor. The
Back.
pipe armor.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring it
Hey,
back.
to be fair, we made this.
You've
We
never
did.
seen this,
It
have
was-
you?
Is that from the movie Hook?
No,
Is it?
we made it out of pipes because
That was
we had to
in the
improvise
asylum.
everything.
That was the armor he made for himself out of like a furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
we had-
literally
That's-
wrenched a bunch of like
Pipes.
little pipes off of the
A
main
furnace,
furnace
in game. He did not break an actual furnace.
Yeah.
and just
Right.
lashed
Yeah.
them together
And then
to
we
be
painted
something.
the markings on it so
Yeah,
the
so you-
cultists
so
would
the
think we
cultists-
were yellow.
Yeah.
It's Peter.
Yeah, this
Sorry, I'm just thinking of Hook.
this kind of started in an asylum. There wasn't really like an armory to raid.
Clap
we
if
didn't
you
have
believe in
anything.
fairies. Thanks, guys.
We are off the
I
rails.
Caught on the chair.
It
when
is
I-
on, yeah, you are caught on the chain.
I'm supposed to be
super
mad at you
glad
guys.
I roll around.
Stop making me laugh. I'm
Don't make
mad
me
at
laugh,
you.
I'm mad at you
I'm
guys.
so mad at you guys right now.
But with
I'm so strong.
another dream behind you and another one of the items from the list collected, there are only 2 left to acquire: the red webbed foot and a captain's tricorn. We have made some progress on each of these. We have learned a lot about the foot, actually, that it comes from a creature called a womp. It's the second
Womp
rare animal part that we have collected after the the cat's tail from the strange jungle. And the last time we went in pursuit of a strange animal, when we awoke in the dream, we found the most absolutely fantastical environment we have experienced yet. And we know that the captain's tricorn is not about just being a hat, it's a symbol of status, that its contact with the powerful soul that is Captain Vadrak would hopefully be enough that would be something the Mad Poet would be able to detect, that he would appreciate, that he would notice. He is the captain of a ship that ostensibly is a slaver ship, though those are never sold and never seen again. We're back to another day. Another day adrift down the Galton shores, making our way ever closer. The 39th day of our journey since we left Thrushmoor. By now, those of you with no memory of your life before waking up in Briarstone Asylum, almost all of it has been this boat. It has been the Selin Starling. You have been here for over a month. Much more than the time you'd spent in the asylum and in Thrushmoor combined before you left. This voyage is rapidly becoming all that you know. The four walls of this tiny little ship cabin. The only place you've ever really been. But you know, it's definitely better than where you woke up in the first place. What do we want to do with our day, everyone? We have many options with the recent discovery of the value of literally just taking like one day off. It's
It's so crazy.
pretty potent, it turns out. This is pretty good. Kind of thought this would come up in book 2, but it's all right. Here I didn't expect you to do it in book 1. I did think it happened in book 2, maybe, but I was like, I definitely. If we got through book 3 without it, we weren't getting there.
We were never finding that one.
weren't getting there. This is downtime simulator. All right, who
Yeah.
wants to do what?
Now, you might think that the man with a madness and a boon
Second madness.
and 7 stress would take a day off.
I implore you.
But I am courageous and a little bit psychotic.
Sounds like the perfect combination to not take a day off.
I am unstoppable.
Also, you just scored a touchdown in the
just
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
Why
I mean,
would you stop?
The
I just
Eldritch
won.
Super Bowl.
So I'm going to study on the Womp.
The Womp. Well, that's not okay. He's pivoting. A man's hat fixation is finally starting to fade.
I think actually I can't do the Womp, and I'm going to go right back to the other one. But we're going to see what the skills you say are.
I'll list them off. The red webbed foot, the Womp, you need nature, religion, or survival. Nature and survival because you are investigating an animal that exists.
-1 on all 3.
Put him in
They
charge.
are all wisdom skills, Mr. Hobgoblin. So,
Yeah.
maybe not that one.
But you
Yeah.
could probably score a touchdown on this one too. So
A 20 is a 20.
That's not wrong. The Captain's Tricorn, you're looking for acrobatics, crafting, and thievery. Are you 3 usable skills?
yeah, much more reasonable.
We're narrowing the list a lot now. Our options pool is not wide.
It's just tricorn and foot?
Yeah,
Tricorn and foot.
Gosh.
yeah, I'm all
5
for
down.
tricorn.
That seems too small. It seems so
You
little.
have the signet ring. You have the mottled tail. You have the royal ghoul's skull. You have an ambassador, a night hag ambassador's heartstone, and now you have a green stone idol of a water lizard.
What is it that I can investigate? Either the red webbed foot again, or
Yes, because there's still more to learn. You
Okay.
basically, this research is long term. It's something that we've been working on the whole of this voyage.
Yeah.
It takes oftentimes many days to determine exactly what it is we need to do and where we need to go and how to adapt this ritual.
Well, with
best
what
day
just
is.
happened to me, I would like to bury myself in work
Mm.
to not feel.
Do not feel. That's fair. That sentence can end there.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that with paranoia, the one real mechanical downside is that other people cannot aid you. So normally what we do with the research, if multiple people can work on it at once,
Mhm.
one person takes the lead and everyone else assists. If you're taking the lead, you have to do it by yourself. You do not trust anyone else to let them help you.
So
you
whatever.
can help somebody else, but
Are you going to work on one of them, and
I don't see why not. Tricorn and foot.
so you want me to do the foot and you do the tricorn?
Yeah.
Okay, but I go to him like, you're going to look up stuff about the tricorn?
That's what I've been doing.
All right, I just want a little more privacy. I'll keep working on looking up this webbed foot, get some more information about that.
takes the books and goes.
Look at what he has to do to mimic a fraction of your power.
So
He has to dive into work to not feel.
for the rest of you, the webbed foot's no longer an option. You can aid Trey with the research on the tricorn. You can rest. You can do something else entirely. It's up to you.
For what it's worth, haven't noticed the melancholy yet.
I think the only one who would actually notice anything is Cammy through the connection we have. I'm not going to research. MD's going to spend most of his day up on deck, just out of the way, just kind of doing that thing in the car where you stare out the window while you're driving because you're bored and sad.
How where you imagine the guy running?
Yeah.
Nebula 315. Bestie, you can't be at 0.
Yes!
Hero point for Sully.
Mwah.
This is why he's the
Love
best
you,
man
boo.
and the maid of
Give
honor
you-
at Sully's
yes.
wedding.
Thank
you, Nebula 315.
Thank you so much. Distract foe. You call that a swing? Pathetic.
Thematically appropriate for Cammy. Useful? Don't know. So, you're
Thank you.
staring into the void. How about you, Marius?
I think
The dice decide.
Rolled an
just
18.
rolled a
Marius
D20.
would have started out fairly feeling kind of good, but I think as the day wears on, even if MD hasn't said anything, I think that would still kind of be saying something that
Sorry, just
clearly.
relatedly in the chat, Manshot. Are you okay, MD? You didn't even say cows when we passed those cows.
That's so funny.
I just passed a graveyard. We
That's
passed,
honestly really
we
good.
passed a graveyard.
really
All my cows are dead.
You didn't say cows. Those cows.
Not all.
Honestly,
It's crazy.
honestly really good.
That's
Always
really
say
good.
cows.
That's how you know something's wrong in his head. The true melancholy is set in. Great news, though.
Oh
Hero
my
point for
gosh.
MD in the form of saying, sorry I
Aw.
got an ancient tomb to put in my Eldrazi deck. I assume you'll know that reference.
I hate it, but thank you.
The
There you
magic part of
Spark
the
of-
channel is a scary place, man.
I don't look there.
Spark of courage. You don't scare me.
So, even if MD hasn't said anything, I think it starts to become a little bit more perceivable that something bad has happened, and I now kind of feeling like, oh, we've had, now 3 people really coming out of the dreams hurt more. I think Marius is going to take a day to rest.
That's your cue. Mental Health Awareness Day.
I'm going to be the most mentally healthy of everybody here.
I ain't never getting mad.
I want them all.
I got a union. I
I
get
just
time
died
off.
that one time. Because he's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah. The
Anyways.
cube made that very clear. The cube has spoken. The cube does not lie.
Thanks, man.
The cube is judged dead.
The cube sees all.
You cannot fool the cube.
Get off
I'm
the
mostly
cube.
there.
One does not try.
You're mostly there.
We're gonna start. This is the beginning of the next cult, guys.
The cube?
The cube cult.
By the way, you have the card for your cube, right? You have it full. Oh, you already have it fully unfolded. Because
Yeah.
you just nat 20 trying to figure out what it was. Never mind. I was gonna say you can unfold it one more
I
time,
know
but you nat
exactly
20
what
out
it
of
is. I
Yeah,
just
the
you just
staff.
don't know what the
which
buttons
things
do.
to do.
You
The
have the staff, right?
I do have the staff, and I know
Yes.
nothing about
Okay.
that except for you found out it was for
Well,
magic.
he asked me earlier, and I couldn't remember if we actually had.
I
it.
got
Yeah.
staff. I got crown. I got ring. I
currently
only have
have-
the ring
loaded.
right now,
I
though.
currently have Cammy with the crown and the staff as the only 2 cards that are not fully unfolded. Is that correct? Just quick audit of
Crown's
weird
unfolded.
cards.
You handed.
Well,
you
I don't know
handed
what
me
that
a
third
warm
thing
coal
says, though. That
card
must have slipped off.
Whenever
Ah.
Easy slipped into his coma.
Now it's correct. I truly did not see what that was, though.
That was why did I give it in his pockets? Why did I give you that?
I don't know. You handed me his stuff.
Was it funny? I mean, it was just funny.
We
I don't
never
think
Was
came
it
up
the
good-
warm rock?
I have the warm rock.
It was a warm rock.
Oh,
It's
the
just
warm
in my
rock.
pocket
Is that a
now.
little hand warmer?
That'll be useful.
Sure, I'll look at it to you.
I have it. I didn't take it.
Take a rock.
Take a rock.
So you said the crown is fully unfolded?
I think the
Two-thirds.
thing had fallen off of it, but
Oh.
I
Oh,
truly
it's
did
one
not
left.
see what
Okay,
the
fair
third
enough.
one is, so I just reclipped it.
Fair enough.
I think that throughout the entirety of everything that Cammy remembers, she's never not just been able to sort of fully and wholly rely on MD to kind of hold the bulk of everything that's going on, whether that's fair or not. And so I would imagine that the entire experience would be very disturbing and even just a little bit like kind of like guilt-inducing kind of. So I actually just think that Cammy would just be near MD and like just sort of whatever he's doing, just like, you need some help with that?
Just
Just sitting.
Just like
So you're also going to rest. The 3 of you that are resting, go ahead and roll me flat checks.
Kevin entrusts me
Kevin
with his
said,
favorite
"I
rock."
trust you
Aw,
With his
my favorite rock.
Got
Marius?
an
I believe.
8.
Sick.
rolled a natural 20.
Ooh. 17.
Of course. You wake up sad. You stare into the water. You feel
happy.
better.
All around me.
The other two of us, we have some research going on. We'll start with the captain's tricorn, acrobatics, crafting, or thievery. Left
Crafting.
alone to this is most of your party has kind of dispersed and is just existing
Oof.
and drifting.
That's with your -1. That's.
What am I adding
No,
to
he's not
this?
doing the minus one. We'll get you in a
That's right.
second.
That was
No,
if you were
no,
doing the
that's
other.
that's him.
one. I was
No,
gonna say.
let's see. That is an 18. I rolled a 2.
That do be, yep, okay, roll me a D6, but
I gotcha.
that do be a critically failure.
Oh.
2.
Hey, well, at least that was also a 2. That's all right.
Whoa, 2.
You have a name now. Last you looked, you found the name Vadrak.
Way too focused on the name.
And that is, unfortunately, a name that doesn't seem to immediately lead much of anywhere. You have a lot of registries, a lot of histories, a lot of anthologies and records of royalty to look through. You start pulling books from other sources, trying to see if you can find any mention of this name Vadrak. It's the most logical way to proceed, but at the moment it sure seems like very much a dead end, or worse, a waste of time. So you, Reginald, are going to be using either your nature, your religion, or your survival skill to attempt to figure out what you need to do to find a womp.
Is this in any kind of dreamland lore?
I would absolutely give you Dreamland lore for this. 100,000,000%.
You got Dreamland lore?
Yeah, 'cause I just-
I
Just-
highly recommend
He
it.
highly recommended it, and I was like,
You
what?
got inside baseball info making this
It was,
character. because
I
you-
mean, it was like, where did we
It's-
just come from?
Well, yeah, and you had been investigating like the same thing that
Yes.
Lowell's had been after with the Stella. What happened at the asylum? It is a logical thing for you to very much be studied in, coming
Yeah,
from the
that's
Sleepless Agency. and
Okay,
Thrushmoor.
so
Like,
I
it
have
makes
plus
perfect
7.
sense.
I have plus 17 on the lore. Now I have investigation plus 2. What is the up top that I had? You guys told me.
If
That
you're
would-
investigating a thing, you get a +2 to knowledge checks around it.
Yes. So if that is like one of your
If
leads.
it's your lead.
Oh, that's for my lead.
Yeah, and because you accomplished your last lead, which was the Bokru statue,
Right.
you could make this your lead and get a
Can I
+2.
do that?
That's the hint. Yes.
Yes.
Nudge,
I would
nudge.
like to do that.
He's
please.
gaming? He's
Thank-
gaming?
Thank,
So you're
well,
lead
they're
now.
gaming. Thank you.
No, no, no.
Thank you for the
Your lead
reminders.
Now the red
he's
web
got it.
foot.
So I get a 17 plus 2 addition to this
19.
roll.
And it's a lore skill, so it's direct. It is, for the purposes of this, a little bit of a vague lore skill, but you are looking for a creature of the Dreamlands, so it definitely helps too that you're using a more specific lore for this. Give me a roll.
I thought about it before I told him a good idea.
It's a natural
really good.
17 plus 19. That is
36.
36.
36, even with the lore specific, is still not quite going to get you to critical success territory. But you are certainly going to make some progress, and you can roll me a d8 to find out how much.
Get into
All right.
Smarty pants.
Oh, he is smart.
It's a 7.
He's gonna shove him in a locker. He's so smart.
Did I win the game?
Are we going straight back to the dream tonight?
Everybody take a bow.
You know how many points the red webbed foot has left on his research?
3.
1.
Because I'll give you a hint, it's 7.
Oh.
You did it!
It's written on my paper, like it's.
What did I do? I did
you
a
see
thing?
it, It's
You
a
did it.
7. That is.
We're going back to the dream tonight,
That
boys.
is, that is exactly what you
Your
need.
favorite.
He doesn't need a critical success. He's an investigator.
gosh.
This is quite literally his job.
This is what I'm stressed, and when I'm stressed, I work best.
That was precision damage in a check.
Oh man, you know the knowledge that you unlock when you pass 5? It's from a medical journal. Possibly the only one of this party who would think to pick that up and look for some kind of information there.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
medicine.
medical journal describing rare diseases, particularly those of undeath, corpse pox, ghoul fever, zombie rot, all listed as potentially carried by carrion-eating womps.
I don't like that.
It is advised to avoid cemeteries and necropoli, where womps sometimes congregate in
Do
large
you have that
numbers.
written down?
I'm taking notes.
Oh, good. I'm like, that's a lot of information.
Somebody
and
add
I
hey,
don't-
Kevin. I don't
my character's smart. I is not that smart.
I feel that.
But now you get to pick a... That, like, it's fully researched, right?
And that does give you immediate direction to think, well, we don't necessarily need a specific place for this one. Womps are a creature that, while rare, you've already been to a necropolis in the Dreamlands, though one admittedly underground deep beneath a cave. You may have heard a little bit about some of this research that was done before you had joined the party when they had been pursuing a royal ghoul skull. And with that research already completed following a similar line, it's no difficulty to find myriad necropoli that this same ghoul civilization had above ground. And looking for that with the traditional insane scrawlings that are Count Lowell's annotations among some of these books, you now know what you're trying to follow, and it's pretty easy to pinpoint where he went and how. You have discovered the final incantation to transport yourself to a necropolis where you've got a pretty good chance of finding some womps.
You get to
Now,
make the code word.
Bonus word.
You get to make the code word.
You get to come up with a code word here.
What do you
I
mean?
haven't written all of them down. I think the only two I wrote down were
Obstinate.
The
greedy,
idol was
croissant,
greeny,
and ostentatiousness.
ostentatiousness. Croissant was the.
So you get
Croissant was the royal ghoul skull. Oh, Arcadis. had
So
it
I have
all.
to.
you
what-
get
There's
to,
somewhere
you
in
get to just
here.
pick
We had
any
pineapple.
word.
That
We had
Pineapple,
coffee.
coffee.
We had croissant. And then we broke theme and went ostentatiousness. And then we got greeny.
Those for the idol. It had to be.
So is this like the theme of this mission?
No,
like
you,
the name
you
of
just get to pick a
Whatever.
word
It's-
that's part of
pick
the
a name.
mission.
Whatever
Technically,
the
Oh.
incantation.
I have to
Enter
say a
your
word
password.
when I drop the
Oh, got it.
staircase in the
Okay.
ritual. So
And you, having
theoretically,
completed
I'm
the
saying the
research.
ancient
Oh.
words of
And
pineapple.
it has to contain it has to contain a number
As I
and a
do
symbol.
my little.
You mean like a
Has
password?
to, has to be at least 12 characters long. You need a capital letter. You need a symbol.
And
Gotta put an exclamation
not
mark
all
at the
IT
end.
people,
Probably
guys.
1, 2, 3,
just
capitalized
use the
first
Google
letter.
autopath.
I think half of us are.
Pick me a. That is actually true. Pick me a word. What is the word that will send us to the necropolis?
First word that comes to mind.
First word that comes to mind.
Any word.
There's a lot of those.
Does it have to go along with
No.
the?
No.
Do whatever you
Ostentatious-
want
I said
to be.
Croissant.
Believe me,
ostentatiousness.
pineapple, coffee, and
We're gonna
croissant
do a live
did not
performance.
go
And we just need any
with-
word from the audience.
First word that comes to mind right now. Don't think about it.
There's no wrong
Say a word.
answers.
Nichols.
Nichols.
There it is.
Nichols.
It's a good name for a pet.
That is a good name for a pet.
It's a punchline
Ooh.
of one of my
Yeah.
jokes.
That's a cute name for.
Pineapple, coffee, croissant, ostentatiousness, greeny, and now
We can
Nichols.
adopt a Womp and name
It does
him
actually
Nichols.
very much seem like a pet name. Yes.
It does.
Nichols to bring us to a necropolis. And
Yeah, that works.
Nicopolis.
Nicolopolis.
Nickelodeon.
Nick, we'll get there.
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Da, 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 da.
Now, this is information that
That's
you
where we're
have.
going.
Yeah.
You took these books off yourself, and traditionally it is just assumed that we're all kind of working together on these researches, but at the moment you did very much go off and very intentionally on your own. You have a way to go right back into the Dreamlands where you were last night and make more progress on this list. What do you do with that?
You mean back to that where that party was?
It'll send you, as far as you can tell from your understanding of what they've told you about this ritual, somewhere else in that realm.
Okay. So
You don't have to tell us that you know that, is what he's saying.
What do you do when you? It'll be late in the afternoon.
yeah,
Maybe an hour before sundown when you finally crack the code here.
I take a little bit extra time as I, had my glasses on and. All right, I guess I should share this information with those. This is good. Put my emotions aside. And I will actually go out to Cammy, knowing that because you're the one that does the ritual, and glad you took notes because all of those things I then reiterate and tell you all of those things, and also there's a key word, Nichols. You want to make sure you always have that. This is a part of.
Okay. It's taken a lot of us a lot longer than that to crack one of those,
Yeah, well, I mean, whenever I focus, I can get a lot of things done. Sometimes.
Okay.
Just so happened I actually had to find some of this information in it was a medical journal, actually, which you guys must have bypassed because not even thinking to even go into that.
I didn't even look at that one.
Yeah. Sometimes the answers are not where you expect at all.
Thank you.
And there, everything freezes. Literally mid-thought with Cammy as she goes to reply, you see what is becoming a familiar sight. You hear a single, almost heartbeat-like pulse, and the color bleeds out of everything, becoming soft and translucent around you. All you can really see is this white outline, this shape of Cammy standing in front of you with this little festering black thing inside her.
Inside her?
Inside her. This almost tentacled, writhing knot.
Do I have that too?
You do not. You see a single thread, tenebrous and just almost drifting through the air, making its way across this scene, not far across the deck, I would imagine, to where MD is as well, linking up to this same infection that you can just see inside him. It's equal parts almost a viney, tentacled growth and an extension almost looking like, if you've seen, there's probably a word for it, but those pictures of just like your whole cardiovascular system, just like the blood vessels,
nerve
splayed
system
out like that.
Yeah.
It spreads through much of the core of their body. And Marius, resting today, I imagine, much as he often does, fishing probably, on the other side of the deck, you would see both of them with strands extending out towards him. And once again, this infestation fills almost the entirety of his body.
Does it come across as like a negative?
It certainly looks
Super
grim.
Okay.
It's grotesque. It looks like a
Like
if
I'm
you-
seeing the manifestation of like a curse almost or something.
a curse. It literally looks like a full-bodied cancer in Marius.
Yeah.
The whole of his shape is just this writhing mass. It's the only thing in the scene that wavers slightly, are these growths inside each of them. Until out of the corner of your eye, coming around the edge of the ship, again, you see this glowing blue form, these hands on long limbs reach around as this eyeball of star stuff, this living constellation
Can I
climbs
speak?
toward you. You can. You can move.
Yeah. I
Cool guy.
like how it just moves him in. So, this is what, the third time I've seen you? What is it? Are these people infected? What is this?
And the eyeball that is the center of its body, a shape and imitation of vision, really just a void surrounded by what look like galaxies, tapestries of stars and rings, a facsimile of an eye.
It's a space monkey.
Does it seem like
Sort of
he's
twitch
connected to
look.
this?
He is not. And in fact, as he approaches and almost goes to reach towards you again, as he had before, his hand passes near Cammy as you're standing right next to her. And this infection in her glows. It flares up, a near catching flame with a yellow burst of fire, flinches backwards, and everything jumps back into motion again as Cammy just continues like nothing had happened.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm kind of surprised that, listen, I'm sorry about what happened in,
Hold that thought.
sorry.
Do
Hold that thought, please. Do you know of this four-armed eyeball that's full of galaxies and the dark creepiness inside of you?
He's gonna.
And also a few of your other mates?
4 are?
I just froze and we just came back, but I want to communicate this with you because I don't know what it is, and it's only been happening ever since I've gotten on this ship.
A four-armed creature made of galaxies does sound terrifyingly familiar to you, but you've never seen any part of it that would look like an eyeball. Certainly not that you would describe as such. A hooded figure, maybe a massive tailed creature, but nothing that really, if you think back at it, perhaps the whirling light at its center could somewhat be seen as an eye, but that's certainly not the description you would use.
This has only been
You
happening.
mean like it's like a whole, how big was it? Just an eyeball?
No, what would it be like? The size of like?
Yours is probably about like the
3 feet
main of
by
its
3
body is
feet.
like 3-4 feet across.
Yeah.
It's all
No, it's
considered-
basically just a floating 3 foot wide by 3 foot eyeball with 4 arms, and then whenever it gets close to you, you have some darkness inside of you that repels it.
MD is gonna kind of turn back around. I think I know what that is, but we can't say anything about it.
What do you mean you can't say anything about it?
It's supposed to
It's somewhat of a curse, and if we speak of it, it spreads to those who hear
it
it.
get worse.
So you're not telling me because you're protecting me.
I'm trying to.
I guess, but honestly, I don't really even understand that part
Do
of
you
it.
know where you got it from?
We heard it.
From Marius?
So he's having a good time.
Because he is also being infested, and I know that you guys started in the asylum, and he came later.
This was just right now.
You
You saw it here right now.
Yes. I just
But-
blinked. In my blinking, I was basically gone for about 2 minutes of time. Not real time, but
Fox time.
The one that we saw was massive. It was like
Yeah, the one.
huge. It was like a person.
I
no, this is
pulled out a sketchbook with that in it.
I
no,
think-
not that.
Yeah, I believe I'm personally getting deja vu. I feel like you've done that before. I feel like you've
Yeah.
seen
Yes, we
this
have.
We've had
before
this
before. You can
conversation
already point
before,
to it,
yeah.
and it's still not that. No.
No,
Right,
it's
well, I'm
still
just
not
saying
that.
it happened
Is-
again, just now.
Where'd it go?
As soon as it got close to you, it flinched, and then I came back to basically consciousness or blinked. I don't know what you saw me, how you saw. You just saw me. Just
I was. I
It
was
was very
just in the
weird.
middle of
Yep. Well, anyways, I
trying to
apologize.
apologize.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about apologizing. It's a part of the game. It's that's how we're doing this.
All I was this kind of seems like a little bit of a jump now after whatever you've got going on. You don't. Nobody's like forcing you to do this. So if you don't want to, I'm shocked that you even brought that to me.
Well, here's the thing, and again, I can't do this on my own. That's not how. I don't have the muscle or the manpower. You obviously know my strengths. I can help us figure things out much faster.
Yeah.
I could help you guys stay alive. And in return, I just ask that we work on this together to bring him down.
Okay.
This is my life mission. I lost my job. I left everything. This is the reasoning of this is what I do. My job doesn't matter about income. It's all based off of doing the right thing. This man's an idiot, and he's getting away with it far too long, and he needs to be taken down.
I sounds really noble.
I thought you were talking about.
But if you're looking for like a heads up or a communication, we can't promise you that. And a matter of fact, actually, just to be 100% blunt, what you experience is a fraction of what we've seen people coming back from. I mean, we've got Easy downstairs, and I don't think he's gonna wake up anymore. So
I understand that.
I
hear what you're saying, and I do know you guys have been through so much. Some have died, some are still dead, I guess. I don't know. But just a couple extra sentence of a game plan. This could have been avoided. That's the thing. It could have been avoided. That's the frustration. You don't think it could have not have been avoided?
I personally didn't know that a lizard god was going to come down and eviscerate a city, so no, honestly, I don't. And I didn't know when Easy was going to get sucked into a heartstone and never wake up again. I can't promise you what you're asking for. And
It's not a lot. It's saying, hey, whenever you're in here, this is what you need to do to get out of here.
Well, maybe you should go back in there and see if you can figure it out every time.
How about this?
Is it not normal? Wait, hold on. Does it change every time?
Yes, it's different every
Reginald.
time.
It's not you fall back asleep and then you get back out?
If you think you're in danger and you want to leave, then leave. You wake up, you wake back up down there in the cabin, everything's fine. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
It's your own instincts. That's all I can tell you. We fought and we put through more dangers than I can even imagine. I don't even know how we survived this long. But at the end of the day, it's you by yourself. It's all of us by ourselves. If you think you're in danger, leave.
Well, that's not really how this works either, because you're not going to be successful if we actually just think about
We're
ourselves.
already not successful.
What do you
We've
mean?
failed so many times.
Yeah, but you have gotten this far. Again, something is helping you. I do not know how you guys have not perished. Especially with your mentality, not even knowing very much, and you're slowly learning. Not everything adds up, which means there's something helping you. I don't know what it is.
And you see Greenie at this point actually just sort of come around up onto Cammy's shoulders. His little chameleon eyes just sort of, dancing around. One fixed on you and then the other. And he just kind of stands up on his hind legs like he's reaching for something. And just claps one little set of hands.
What does this thing want?
What is he?
One means no,
Hold on.
right?
Speak.
He's
No, one means yes. Right, Greenie? So how many for yes? Is it one is yes.
Okay.
We got it.
Yes,
Is
what?
he trying to say something to me?
He's trying to say something to me.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
What does he want? I don't know how to communicate with that thing.
That's it. It's
It's just saying yes?
yeah. Well, and no is two.
What is
Did he say yes?
What is he saying yes to?
That something is
I don't know.
guiding
He
us.
was talking to you.
Ah. Look at that. You're an investigator too.
Hmm.
I mean, you're Greenies. Well,
I will say,
I guess I don't really know much about that.
even though I am new, you cannot think of this as a every man for himself mentality. I do not work with a team very often, and I had a partner one time. That fell through. But most of the time, whenever you're doing something this grand, you have to stick together.
Like I said, if you think you're in danger, wake up. I'd rather you wake up and leave than die.
Okay, dream aside, I think there's a mentality for the party to think that we're actually in this together.
I think
Correct?
I think that we are. MD.
We are. I'm just starting to, I guess, doubt myself.
Listen,
Why? Why would you be doubting yourself?
It's kind of, I haven't been facing you this entire time. I get up in this, I look around, there's just a pain on my face. I failed. I failed and I fell and I fell. No matter how hard I try and how hard I fight, I fell.
You just hear
Easy.
a voice down from the helm. You lot are bloody depressing. What is this? It's just
Would I know? Is this part of that
Skywin
disease
just
that I was
kind of
dealing with?
leaning around the wheel. But can you go be sad below decks or something?
If they bring it down here, how am I supposed to read?
You're
To
riveting.
bring it down there, it's not my problem.
To be honest with you, Captain, your riveting personality makes me feel so much better.
Glad I could help.
That's why I'm up here.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to start anything right now. It's just if you're going to, if you want to go back in, which I assume that you do, if you're bringing this to me at all, then that's
It wouldn't be
what
me by myself.
No, it wouldn't. But I can't promise you anything about what's going to happen in there, and we have to do this. We've got nothing else to live for or do. So,
Oh, by Bismara, can you go have existential crises somewhere else, please?
I'm so sorry to inconvenience you. Now you know what you're signing up for.
It's fine. And by the way, please stop giving me ultimatums of leaving. I'll leave if I need to,
That's what I'm saying.
but I'm not gonna.
Either way,
I'm just letting you know that. Like,
If you
I'm a big
want to
boy.
leave, you have the door.
Correct. We've said it enough times.
I have something to discuss with Trey and Cammy anyways, and I guess the other two need to be there for it as well.
Did I tell you everything? Was
Yeah,
that okay that I
can,
told
yeah,
you
no,
the
that's,
things?
It's perfectly
I've got
fine to say,
notes.
like, I tell her the things that we learned. You don't
Yeah,
have to
it was a
read
lot. I
We,
was
all,
like,
we all heard it. You
Royal
don't have to repeat
Cool
it all. We were all
Skull.
present.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go down to the cabin where Trey is. Trey, you're not making any progress.
Read a lot of books today.
You're reading one of the books we read for the signet ring.
Doesn't mean it's not progress.
It's not right.
It's upside down. He's
We
just
we
looking
put
at
it into
pictures.
piles. That's the
I'll
signet
have
ring
you
pile.
know, I have 18 intelligence.
That's fair. Okay.
I have
he can,
crazy.
That's,
8
no, that's
wisdom.
fair. He can read. It's not a literacy issue on this one.
It's that I'm not
He's-
following
Is
the right
that-
books. That's 8 wisdom.
He's, he's taking everything extremely literally.
Yes.
When we did the ritual last night, I got separated. I'm sure that's obvious. I had a dream. I was in a different dream. In Thrushmoor, I'm assuming before it was Thrushmoor during the first disappearance, you all were there. You, Hugglum, Edelmay, Martin, Brick, and I wrote her name down. Ariandra.
Ariadna, very close.
Arianda. I
Ariadna.
can't spell.
Yeah,
I can't
Ariadna.
spell Arianda.
These are Pathfinder names.
Sarah-
We're throwing phonetical approximations in our notes.
Ariadna. Ariadna,
The witch?
I guess.
It is.
Now, Reginald,
Yes.
my good friend, an investigator, a detective of the Sleepless Agency, you would certainly be much more familiar with an Ariadna than the rest of this group here. Simply by the very nature of having, I don't actually know if it's in there.
I can't remember if you throw this at me or
necessarily, but this is less of a personal thing, less about a story of what the party has experienced, and more just from having. Well, I don't know if you were born and raised in Thrushmoor, but you've certainly worked there for quite a while.
Right.
Thrushmoor is an odd place, and a part of that is due to its history. In the not so distant memory, the entire town disappeared. The whole of Thrushmoor was simply gone. There are 1,000 tales, 1,000 explanations for what happens to all the people of Thrushmoor. But what you would know from working for a literal detective agency headquartered in the city is, well, not a much more truth than anyone else. It is a great mystery. But you would know that before the town had disappeared, there had been a little bit of a cult that had taken up residence. A cult led by a woman named Ariadna. She disappeared with everyone else.
Did they know of Ariana before? Here, or this is the first time they've
You
heard?
could ask them.
Did you all know of this, I mean, I know of only so much, but there was a cult that took place in Thrushmoor after everybody disappeared, and Ariana was
That'd be before they disappeared, right?
before they disappeared.
An old Thrushmoor, as it's called.
Old Thrushmoor, there was a cult that formed.
Yeah, with the vanishing.
Yes, I don't know fully what do you know about this, and this might be helping with his visions.
What we were sort of filled in on, or like brought up to date when we were in Thrushmoor again. There's the vanishing and the witch, and
You would know that Ariadna is known as the Briarstone Witch, something that everyone knows, and her connection to this, if any, is the centerpiece of many of these various myths surrounding the city and insane theories as to what has happened. The title that can be believed referred to her for quite some time is certainly very much Ariadna. But you would know, again, a little bit more than these wives' tales. You would know that whether or not she was like an actual literal witch, whether she practiced magic, she was a leader of a heretical Pharasman cult. And you would know that when the town disappeared, the ones who had discovered that were the Pharasman church, who had been sent out on, we could call it an inquisition of sorts, to go ahead and fix that particular problem, and simply found nothing. That's a little more than any of the rest of them know.
Do I know that if she was actually somebody that held magic at all?
You're not sure. You know she's known as the Briarstone Witch and is generally
I have a
like...
crazy theory.
Okay.
Is there any way that with her possibly being a witch and Cammy being a witch, is there a connection there?
Has anybody seen them in the same room together?
That's certainly what I definitely thought. I was like, what'd you say? I don't know who I am, but you talk about a witch.
Because also they run in threes a lot of times. Witches run in threes for a
very much a thing. They have
Oh
covens.
my gosh, do I have a sister?
That's,
Possibly.
That's
How short was she when you met her?
that's more hags in Pathfinder, but yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
is
witches
that-
can make
Sure, that's
covens too.
Yeah.
No, in the dream, she referred to each of us, and the connection I have with you, I had with her instead. Yeah. But she seemed
What do
frail.
you mean by that?
Well, now I'm grumpy.
She seemed frail and weak, couldn't fight for herself.
Wait, hold on.
Well, yeah,
What
that
do you mean?
sounds
In what way is that
awfully
similar to us?
Us?
But she referred to all of us. It was a war almost. Phrasmans and the Ustalavian army were marching on Thrushmoor. And where Briarstone Asylum sat, that tower that we've dreamed of, that we saw with the Tattered Man, that's
The
where the
tower?
tower was. And when I woke up, right before I woke up, we're standing on top of it.
Can I try and recall back to the last time that I had any vision surrounding the tower to try and cross-reference that? Because we've never had any any other geographical information to try and pinpoint where that would be.
Yeah, most of what you've
Like, if I'm-
seen, whenever you saw that place where you faced down the Tatterman, is from looking out of the center of a small village, from the town square. You could see the tower in the distance, poking out of the water, but
I'm
around you were
assuming-
just simple buildings, thatched roofs, and wooden walls.
I'm assuming that when we first woke up in the asylum, the dream that we shared before with the Tattered Man chasing us through a village, that was Thrushmoor. Before the disappearance.
Oh my gosh.
Because the town I saw in that dream was very similar, and the Stellai were there as well. And they're lit up.
Oh.
Can I, as my character, being so much smarter than me?
That's fair. No, this is fair. It's very hard to...
Can I kind of hear that, knowing that I kind of dialed in some of those things and going all right, can I make some sort of investigation kind of roll or something to kind of maybe be able to connect a few pieces?
Y'all are crazy.
Possibly.
I would roll. I would think occultism is the best thing because it's not a lore. There used to be knowledge history in first edition. Unfortunately, we lost that.
I just want to
You
roll
would guess
dice.
society
I
would
just
be
wanna
the
roll a dice.
closest.
I don't want to rely on my
roll a
own
die
brain.
and then I'll add something to it.
I
I
had
don't know. Roll a d20.
occultism or society. You tell me. Both are 19.
Then it doesn't matter. It's one of those.
That is a 30.
That'd do it.
Numbers.
You have never heard about an army or anything being involved. But looking back at it, with a 30, a couple of pieces immediately start to fall into place for you. First of all, if truly nobody was left in Thrushmoor, it would be up to the Pharasmans to write whatever history they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They would very much probably decide it might make more sense to say we went on an outreach mission to go help these poor souls than we brought the army to raise them to the ground.
Winner writes the history book.
Yes. I'm repeating this to you guys, by the way.
Verbatim.
Also,
It's out loud.
Also,
this further tracks with what happened around when these guys came out of the asylum.
this further should I not repeat you?
Lowell's
This further tracks.
Count
whatever-
Lowell's
Give it to
is
us,
an
but
idiot.
British.
He is an idiot that has not really been tending to the height of his duties. And you met with a woman named Royal Accuser Amari and her retinue that had been sent down by functionally the closest thing that Ustalov has to the CIA to investigate Lowell's because he hasn't really been, attending to his countly duties of taxation and maintenance of the lands. He's not been paying his tithes up the chain. His books are out of order. It seemed a little odd to you at the time, but you were so focused on Lowell's yourself that you didn't really even notice, so many strange things happened with Lowell's that one more on the pile was hardly different than the rest.
Sure.
But that's certainly not the kind of thing that the Royal Accusers of Ustalov would bother sending an agent for directly. And certainly not the kind of thing that they would have given them the authority to draft assistance of the Pharasman Church from people like Winter.
Winter is
You would not really know her, but that was more for everyone
Winter.
else.
Winter
Klaska.
Other notable folk. Okay, got
Seen
it.
her in forever.
She's
I
think
kinda miss
fantasy
Winter.
FBI. Got
Holy
it.
cow. I always hated her.
She is still back in Thrushmoor tending to
Ever
the
since
refugees.
she said
from
no
the
at the
asylum.
barricade.
Okay.
I'll never get over it.
You would have
No,
met
I
her
like Winter.
briefly with Royal Accuser, Royal Accuser Amari, but she wouldn't
Didn't
have.
hold a grudge.
She would have been the one after the Royal Accuser disappeared and kind of taken up the investigation. The last you would have seen of her really was her heading to Briarstone Asylum.
Right.
Looking for several of Count Lowell's previous employees that he had recently committed.
Yes. Okay. And is she's not a detective. She's like another.
She is just a cleric.
She's an
She is
accuser.
a cleric of Pharasma. She's not an accuser,
or
she is just a priestess.
She she is like the worker. Right? She's just
you
a
said
retold
think fantasy
service
FBI.
clerk.
The Royal Accusers are. Royal Accuser Amari was. Sorry, not Winter. Amari is basically Fantasy FBI. She is.
Fantasy
are-
FBI, open up.
There's a detective agency, but then there's the SWAT
Right.
team that brings them down.
Kind of. Winter had just been a priestess who had been, basically, to your understanding from what Lady Rances said, basically forced by Accuser Amari to travel with her to come to Thrushmoor.
Yes.
What reason? Not sure. Didn't get there, didn't care. It was kind of a lot happening at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like traveling also. By the way, weird stuff.
I figured. There's more things growing as time goes on too. Even things that are happening ever since I got here.
So we were back there for.
Yeah. She said Hugglum, Adelmay, Martin, Brick.
The Thrushmoor vanishing was several hundred years ago.
I don't see how it's possible.
That doesn't make any sense.
There was a dreamland encounter, I'm sure, so I keep it in your mind. Don't think about it too hard.
Was Marius there?
No.
No.
That would make no sense.
That would.
That would just be absurd.
Well, I mean,
Do I know of any kind of like spells or anything like that like a wizard or somebody can do to like freeze their life for like to where obviously like they're not undead because they're not
you have
undead.
Arcana, good sir? Are you like, you don't even need to roll. What's your proficiency?
In Arcana?
Yeah, like trained, expert.
I am trained. I have a
If
plus
it's
17.
you definitely don't know of any. If it's possible, it would be some like absurdly powerful magic. That'd be wild, but maybe you have no idea what magic can do. Like,
What if I roll a
trained-
natural 20?
you can roll a natural 20.
I rolled a 3. All right, I rolled a
really
dirty
close.
20.
You really have no idea.
Okay.
You're pretty familiar with magic and simpler and lower rank magics. You might know a little bit more about, but you don't really. You do a little. You
Yeah.
dabble. You have some.
Yeah.
It's more kind of innate to you.
Right,
Being a kitsune. than,
One is
like,
also
you-
for me to help figure things out,
Really,
more
yeah.
or less. Not that I use it.
But that if that's a thing, it'd be potent. That's for sure.
So somehow he had a dream that you guys were alive hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
It's not the weirdest thing, honestly.
No, well, of course.
I'd just like to determine if it was a dream or if it was. I mean, we've had a lot of stuff that wasn't like just dreams. It was.
This is one
Like
of those
something
things
that happened.
honestly, it would have been. I bet why Rely would have known or been able to give us some input here.
Yeah, we'll ask her next time we see her.
And she likes to make a lot of appearances.
Why realized this lady in the dream that like it was cool, and then she beat us up one time.
Because we were threats to
She
her
was always
future.
kind of.
So that goes okay. So hold on.
The first time you met her, you murdered her.
But she was
She
really
said we could.
Gave us
You're not
permission.
here.
so
Cammy, who are you talking to?
right.
Don't forget about it.
My head hurts thinking about all of this.
The answer is, if it happened, it happened. Time is a mess. We don't know.
We don't know.
She killed us because apparently we are involved with something called the doll, and we're gonna
You're
help the
involved.
doll. I'm involved, so okay. But I don't even really know what that means.
This greenie scrambles back out again, looks at MD, and holds up both hands.
One hand. One
no,
hand.
it's no.
Oh, one hand.
2 means no.
Stumpy.
Oh no!
No.
One hand. He's got
Yeah.
little
Yes, don't
Stop,
forget
it's gonna
that.
make me cry.
Oh, so now we're not
That's
going to be able to
my
understand
people.
them at all.
No,
No, we've never needed a second hand to communicate.
not involved
No.
with the doll.
Where did you get this?
He
I just kind of woke up with him.
If you're not involved with the doll, why'd your arm turn to porcelain?
We're involved.
Don't interrogate him.
Were they from the past?
Greenie's looking pretty firmly at MD.
Should he not be talking about that?
We're involved with the doll. Yes,
Yeah.
we're as a group.
Yeah.
She protects us.
Yeah.
Yes. From
Time.
I'm just gonna point at him from whatever's going on inside of that. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
It does seem like there are some things that you shouldn't find out and know because, like how you told me with your
Thank
problems,
You mean like
Formative as always.
everything we've been doing?
you can basically pass your problems on to somebody else basically just off of information, it seems like. And that might be one of the reasons why this
It's
gecko doesn't fully communicate.
He knows about
'Cause-
Zommendor.
Oops.
I think Kimmy would like grab her mouth and be like,
Well, congratulations, you're
time
inaugurated.
freezes and
I know about who?
no.
Tom
I can't-
Indoor? Tom Indoor?
This
Tom,
hurt.
who did you say?
This brings
No,
us
Stop
right.
saying it.
Tom
to the question.
Bombadil.
If you
Tom
just
Bob-
heard the
I
name,
mean,
No,
that's
no,
wrong
no.
franchise. Wrong franchise.
stop saying it.
I'm not moving.
Anyways,
Is this the Voldemort of the campaign? Like,
So-
what-
Oh, you don't say that either.
he doesn't
You
know.
can't say that one either.
it's more like moldy ward.
Right then.
So I'm going to choose to ignore what you just said because I didn't hear you.
Exactly. That's the spirit.
I'm
didn't hear
catching
it.
on.
It probably doesn't matter, but that's the spirit.
Yeah.
We haven't
There's
noticed
something
anything
to it.
weird with us.
Yeah, no,
I-
we're fine.
There's some darkness growing in all of you.
Mm.
Yeah, but we're fine.
Weird
That's
metaphor.
deep.
I don't
Edgy.
know. It's not really. It's a
Hashtag
physical
deep.
thing. Whenever I blank out, it's what happens.
You what now?
And you are quite dark, Marius. You are.
Thanks. I was outside. I got a tan.
No, it's like
Can you tan?
weird. I
Wait.
don't want to. It's like a
Can-
cancerous.
Can an undead tan?
Can ghouls tan?
I'm wearing that.
Wipe.
Well, actually, cooked skin is cooked skin, so it still would change.
That's true. Actually, it would. That's categorically
In-
yes.
Yes.
In
We
fact,
do have
you
an
usually
answer.
do cook dead skin most of the time.
Right then.
Tom next door.
Anyways.
Anyways, we have a potential destination.
Ritual time.
Do we feel up to another one?
Let's go.
How many days do we have left until we hit land?
27.
It depends on
no
how.
shortage. Yeah, it's still a few weeks from now. It's
Well, are we like stopping at any point? Because I want to change back to my fox form.
we stop as infrequently as possible. So we just stopped a couple of days back in that Galton port. It'd probably be close to another week before we land anywhere else.
Okay.
But depends.
I'll wait until wherever we go, and then I will decide whether I want to change back or not.
I'm gonna kind of just look over to you and be like, well, you want to go back in?
Yes, of course. You don't need to ask. I'm with you guys.
Okay. All right then. We have a new code, so we can go back in.
Let's get it over with.
All right.
Only 2 left.
Positions.
You light your candles, you inscribe your sigils upon the floor, you begin your incantations. Cammy takes the staircase, and as has happened now so many times before, begins to pass it around the room. Are we level 10? Are we changing anything about the way we're doing this?
I don't believe so.
I can't remember which one I
It's
It's
rolled.
Arcana,
he can
Diplomacy,
participate
Performance,
now.
Survival.
Yeah, I pulled Reese out of the circle and said, I think I can handle it. I've watched you do it enough.
I will
Sure.
give you when the time comes. Because I either would want to roll it for myself, mine, where I can give me a reroll, but I do want to pre-give her the reroll. Is there a time? Is there a turn base?
The reroll is once per day, so you can only do it to one of you.
Yeah, so basically when she goes to
But I
make
can
a
do
roll-
one to me and one to her. I have 2.
Oh, you have yours as a reaction when you fail. Hers is a thing you can give her in advance. Yeah, you can do both.
Okay.
If you use them, you
If
will
you
not have them
fail.
in the dream, but you can use them.
Okay. I will decide whenever the time comes how many times we
Fair
fail.
enough.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
Just tell me if you need it.
Trey, begin us.
23.
Oh, here we go. It's happening
Yeah.
again.
All right. I'm already getting that ready.
23 is a failure.
Gosh, we used to get into the dream so easily.
MD,
We used to
now,
roll.
a
hot
member of the team, participating directly as you are for the first time handed the staircase. You've never done this before. You feel the warmth, you feel an energy radiating off of this. You feel it almost vibrating in your palms. It seems somehow bigger and heavier than it should be. Give me your diplomacy check.
Come on, ritualist. I believe in you.
That's funny. Actually,
Now, is it a 1?
no.
Oh.
No, I don't want this hero point from Link 1429
Oh.
anymore.
He's gross and stinky.
It reminds me of Eldrazi,
Guys,
but
we can't keep roasting.
but thank you, Link,
Gosh,
for this
hear
hero
you
point.
right
As
now.
I
smells like
am
Eldrazi.
completely entranced by this
Handsome gangrel.
ritual and kind of try to get into a natural groove with it. It comes very naturally.
Woo!
Um,
It's like he's a ritualist or something.
with the plus 2 I have from Ritualist, that makes it a 33.
33-6. And Kevin in the chat, take this hero point instead, Colby. Here you go, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
It is passed then along to Reginald.
All right.
As it
What
has
am I rolling
been
for?
a few
Which one am I
times before.
rolling?
You are the performance.
Yes.
Plus 16.
Brother,
All right. Here we go.
believe.
I'm probably going to re-roll that.
Oh, you have your reaction.
What is your number?
It would be a 20 total.
Yeah.
Tony would
No.
I'm going
absolutely
to
fail in this.
re-roll that. I'm going to. Hey, I didn't think magical pony last time who gave me one of these.
Do you want to trade him? Because that wolf's got for the witch.
For the
One
witch!
coming around the way. For the
I guess it's
Briarstone
me.
witch.
Oh.
You
Took me way too long. Thank you.
take that, and
Oh,
in
no.
that moment, you
I will
you
re-roll.
see this divergence. You feel yourself pulled backwards, and again, it's just like the stairs had just for the first.
Well, I'm not
time
using
been-
my ability. I'm using the
Oh.
card.
Oh, you just use a hero point.
Yeah, I'm just using the hero point.
You're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
focusing
Never
real
have
hard
it.
then.
Son of a bee sting. That's a 25.
25 will succeed.
Yeah.
Good
Why do you think he
job.
was mad? Or he was upset I got a 24.
And it's handed to Marius for his survival. All right, to our closer of the ritual, Cammy, Nebula 315. Chet's giving all of their power. All their power to Cammy.
Thank you.
This is.
They don't want 3 more episodes to try to do a ritual.
So much. Yeah, this one was endure the onslaught. Hope not. I mean, yes, but I don't want to have to use the dive out of danger. I'm fine.
Got a
That
whole lot
was
of don't
really
kill
hard to
me
walk
cards.
away from.
Okay.
That is a 25.
25 will succeed.
Let's go.
It comes around to Cammy
Only
now
a minus
slightly destabilized,
What's her negative?
carrying a -4
She's
as
got
it
this.
comes into
Yeah, it's
you
fine.
We've
from
seen so much worse.
What is it you need?
1 failure.
We don't actually know.
I don't know if you know.
We don't know the exact number.
It's more than you can
Look,
kind of
just-
tell from the vibes.
Just
when it
don't
happens.
roll like a 3.
Hold on.
I got that ruby in the
The
center.
ruby's in the center.
Should
We're
I give
team
you?
Ruby
Should I
team.
give you the reroll?
It's up to you, man. I'm not gonna. It's your once per day. I'm not gonna take it from you. But whatever you
She'll be
think.
fine.
But I
got
want. We
rerolls.
want her to
It's
succeed.
whether
I've
you
been
use it or
gifted,
not. It's up to you.
blessed by chat.
Oh, you. Yeah. Well,
I
you
do
have
got those.
rerolls. Yeah, you use your own.
Use your hero.
Let
Use
the
your hero.
paranoia
Okay,
talk.
thanks.
Yeah. I'll trust you anyway.
Yeah.
It's in character. I don't know. It's in character. I was trying to be in character.
Okay. Here we go.
But seriously.
Impress me.
All right, and it's higher now. I got 21 occulted, except for I don't, right? Because it's
17 because you got -4.
except for I don't have that. I have 17.
Still
we
better
go.
than me.
Looks pretty good. 15 on the die. 32.
32. You have seen much worse. And you've done this time and time and time again, having traveled now to 6 destinations within the Dreamland. For your 7th, you focus for a moment easily, channeling this magic. Starting to understand, maybe not why there is a connection, but how to utilize whatever latent energy is in this ruby. And cast the staircase down where it falls smoothly through the floor, opening once again this black void, this abscess, this complete darkness, save for these stairs descending down below. We're going to take our break, everybody. We're going to stand up, stretch our legs, grab some snacks, and when we come back, we're going to make our second visit to a necropolis within the dream.
We're right at home.
It's going to be about 10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, last time that was extremely true, so maybe don't say that. But like,
What's the worst that can happen?
Last time was probably.
it's going to be about 10 minutes on this break. While we're up, feel free to check out some of our partners. I want to shout out Arkin Forge, who has been popping up all the art and is about to give us a wonderful map here for us to go on a new adventure for. Discount code UGT Show gives you straight $5 off any of their core asset packs, the fantasy and the sci-fi bundles.
Oh, we're dancing for the ad read.
For the ad read, dude.
Oh, I didn't know. I don't know what to do here.
And our newest partner with Easy Roller, provider of not just the fancy high-end shiny metal gemstone dice, but also some of the simpler ones too. If you not want to throw as much money forward, discount code UGT Show works there as well. Either of those two, get yourself something nice, pick up some cool stuff, use our code, and help support the show as well. We'll be back, everyone. Don't go too far. Welcome back, everybody. As we resume
What you chewing on?
our evening's adventures, we have successfully completed the ritual once more using a new passphrase that our new friend Reginald had discovered for us to once again open a staircase leading down into this mysterious darkness. We know we're headed to a necropolis, but this time, well, I guess much like the last animal that we pursued throughout the dream, it's no specific place of note. Nowhere with real detail and history behind it, just one of many. One of possibly hundreds. Let us go back around and briefly reintroduce our characters as we move towards the stairs here. Reginald,
My name
we'll
is
start with you.
Brett, and I play Reginald Sedacious Fox. I am a detective investigator with a cool cane sword. I'm a jigger.
So cool.
Yeah.
It's the
So
coolest thing.
cool.
It's pretty
so
cool.
This makes me think of
pretty
Sly
cool.
Cooper.
Okay.
He does kind of have some Sly Cooper energy.
But he's a fox.
Yeah, but he has a cane.
And he's sly.
Cooper.
That is also the
Sly
other word.
Cooper. That's a really funny bit.
Awful.
I also
Great
don't
bit,
know
guys.
who. I don't know who that is.
Let's move on.
Raccoon.
No, wait. I'm
Post-show.
Sully. And I.
That's it.
Are you?
Yeah?
Next, please.
No!
All right, cool. Howdy, I'm
I play Cammy, an itty bitty gnomish witch.
Are you okay?
I don't know what else to say.
What do you have?
I don't.
Spells.
What is something Cammy has?
Huh? I've got my hexes back because Dirt replaced them all with swamps and lands over the break. That's it.
I
Please
caused
go.
mischief. Howdy, I'm Derp, and I play Trey, the frontline hobgoblin fighter with the pokey stick, full plate, and do I have my shield?
You're going into the dream, so we'll find out in a minute.
Exactly. Because I don't know. I tossed it away last time I was in the dream. I don't know if I keep it.
I'm Colby. I play MD, our full-blooded orc rogue, who in the dream has a really cool fist sword, whatever he needs it to be weapon. And I'm gonna miss this in like one more dream after this.
You better get your value out of it now.
I need to get my value out of it now.
I'm Marcus. I play Marius, the Ghoul Dwarf Ranger, and I didn't think about how we weren't going to have these after we stopped going to the dream.
No,
What are you losing?
nothing.
Oh.
His green
Cooler
skin.
in the dream.
He looks.
He's
He's
got
he
the
doesn't
new
get to be
skin.
green.
We're brothers.
He
How did you
loses the
guys
DLC
gain all
skin
of those things?
We found him.
in the dream?
And then you just get them back?
You then also show up in the dream where you don't really get anything other than, brain damage. So, it's just, it's usually not like
I went
that.
to Sarnath,
you
and
can
all I
keep
got
that,
was
though.
brain damage.
How did you
I'm gonna
turn these
dig in my
dreams into a
pocket and show you
positive?
half of my eaten blunt from the.
I
Take
wish.
that
If
from
you
No,
keep
I
it,
wish
then
he
you
was
get
joking.
to keep it. If you keep it, then you get to keep it when you do it again.
Somebody gave her
That.
like a Snoop Dogg level
Yeah.
blunt, and she took a bite out of it,
Right.
and then put the other part in her pocket and still has it
I
In
thought
the
you-
normal land, whenever we go back,
in
you
the dream.
you stay.
I-
It stays.
in the
I
dream.
knew.
So, maybe later. I don't really partake.
All of you.
She has a pipe.
I don't.
I do have a
either.
pipe, but
It
it's like
No,
tobacco.
I really don't either.
It has teeth marks.
As you all descend down the stairs, as always, everything around you falls away. You see nothing, you hear nothing, you feel nothing save for step after step beneath your feet. This journey has been ended in a variety of ways, with sounds, bright sunlight, the odors of the enchanted woods. Oftentimes a stumble onto a sudden stop as you find new ground. But this time, the first sensation that you feel, the first indication that you're arriving at your destination, isn't something that can be perceived by your 5 simple senses. It's a feeling. Dread isn't the right word to describe it, but it's almost a weight, an oppressive, joyless blanket that simply hangs over you. You always enter the dream with some amount of trepidation. You don't know where you'll arrive and you don't know what you'll face. But that fear, however small it is, almost starts to drift away to be replaced with something akin to what MD has been feeling since he arrived back from Sarnath. You would find yourselves arriving into what looks like the middle of a street. It's a very wide road with space for carts either great in number or in size to navigate between tall buildings of a large city. You have arrived in some massive halls before. The Viscount's Gala, the feasting halls of Sarnath, but never have you had an opportunity to see these cities of the dreamscape from the streets. The buildings loom overhead, stories upon stories high, reaching out towards a low and leaden sky. An odor of decay, dust, hangs over much of the area. As you look around, you see what look like they were once homes or storefronts. Small pots holding scraggly yellow ceramic facsimiles of plants, leaves and all. The buildings themselves, as you look, constructed of a mixture of stone and this same yellow plaster. Looking down the road, you can see what appears to be a park. Although in lieu of grass, there is trampled yellow dirt, rolled like mud, and a cluster of trees made from this exact same material. It's as if it was an entire city cast in yellow clay.
Have we ever seen this kind of clay before or anything like that?
Other than being an odd color,
Yeah.
doesn't immediately look very out of the ordinary, but you could certainly approach any nearby building and investigate.
I would like to.
What
do
are
that.
you all doing? as
First,
we
I would
arrive
like
here
to
at the
actually
dream?
say, all right, we are here. Okay. We know that we're going to be dealing possibly with this. Did you guys all feel that as you all came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It's
No.
normal for you. Right. That's just your baseline. As we're here, we need to watch. I mean, we probably, anything we run into is going to probably give us something gross.
You know that feeling that you're being watched?
Speaking of watched,
All the time.
What are you all doing here? I mean, your exploration of activities before we continue this.
Seeking. I'm just gonna. I'm thinking of a way to like describe it. It's just looking.
You're really looking around.
Just
Do I
looking.
recognize this space?
You do not know.
Okay.
I want to investigate the wall.
Okay, you're investigating. You're trying to recall some knowledge. MD's seeking. What are you up to, Marius?
Oh, I'll take the other side and go scouting. Why not?
Seeking scouting.
Do I have a shield
As
on
you
my arm?
arrive,
Oh.
clad about in your Dreamlands gear, as you, Reginald, look and see a party looking a fair bit different than what they do in the waking world. I did admittedly somewhat skim over this because we've done so many dreams before, but for your benefit, much of their gear is very different once you arrive at your destination in the dream. And Marius, in fact, looks like a completely different species in the dream, looking like a green, scaled, almost reptilian ghoul with an elongated snout and sharp teeth. Their weapons change, some of their gear changes, and Trey does not, in fact, have a shield.
I will no longer need this. And instead, I'll reach over to the armory bracelet, pull off a shield token,
Oh, bring it back.
and pop up just a heavy steel shield on my arm.
There you go. It's back.
You should just put it in
Very
your little cupboard.
different shield.
No, it's gone.
That's a level 17 shield.
That's a Giga shield. That's,
Yeah.
that's a
Put it in
very
your
that's
cupboard.
crazy.
You got a
good
charm
shield.
for that?
Yeah.
On your
No, I wish.
Just put
There's
it
a
in your
charm.
cupboard.
you get. I don't know why we're getting it. Oh,
We don't know what to do with the shield.
This is their exploration activity.
Your exploration activity is shield.
It-
How about you,
I'm going to
Cammy?
pull it off, and then I'm going to be raising my shield.
Keeping it up. How about you, Cammy?
I would like to get feeling for my tiara on top of my head and kind of getting
Certainly
reacquainted.
still there. You feel this big rod just way into your hand. This is staff crystal tops that you'd found from the Gug Necropolis.
I'm gonna kind of hold that like I know what it's supposed to do. You know?
All right, fair
I
enough.
feel like I'm being watched. I happen to have a large stick. I'm gonna kind of hold it in front of me.
It's a pretty good stick. You know, I think there's an evolutionary advantage to really just appreciating holding a pretty good stick.
Yeah.
You know, just in case you got to hit somebody with it. I think the guy that survives is the guy that has a pretty good stick.
I'm going to also, while we're standing here, focus on my gauntlet and shift it as the plates shift and reforms into a bastard sword. That's something I have. I'd rather have an actual weapon because last time I fought with just a fist.
You did just punch everyone a lot. It's a very effective punching implement, it turns out. It does do pretty good.
Can
Well-
I roll an investigation or something for this yellow clay?
As you move towards the buildings, we'll say the north one here is the nearest, and you approach. Why don't you give me? What would I ask you for this? I would.
If it's
say-
dangerous, I also want to take some cautions. Like if
yeah,
there is any
of
kind
course.
of
You're not gonna walk
heat
up
or
and start
anything.
touching it. You're gonna like
Lick it.
just pick it up and just lick it. See how the taste is.
Right.
Okay.
Don't
I know
lick
we're
the
going
yellow
like an
clay.
Pumpkin
undead
spice.
world.
I would take a nature check for this.
Nature.
Is what my head says.
That is one of my lowest.
Instead
things.
of raising a shield, I've realized.
Is
it's better
this
for me to
dreamland
prepare
lore?
reactions.
Not
Oh,
this, no.
oh.
Oh, come on! It's literally in the land of dreams. All right.
In the land of dreams.
Yes, but not everything in the land
Oh.
of dreams is inherently like an esoteric
Sure.
kind of
Yeah.
dream. This is
Clay.
That's a 22.
it's clay. It's clay. Looking
This
at it up
is
close, it is
interesting clay.
it's hardened but unfired. It's hardened seemingly just from it looks like it may have just sat here for so long that most of the surfaces are rough and somewhat mottled, but you don't want to touch it, you don't want to mess with it, but even in the streets you're stepping around little pockets of it.
Yes.
Looking down at the ground around you, you see dustings of it kind of scattered about, especially where there are small gaps in the road or in this sidewalk nearby. And kneeling down to take a little bit of a closer look at that, it looks like that's because there was once grass there, made of that same yellow clay that had simply been trampled down into dust, like little
So
deposits
the
of
grass
dusty
turned into
powder.
clay. Is that what you're saying?
Created
Or
from
the-
this clay,
oh,
like it
okay.
was sculpted from this clay. In fact, looking around you, all you can see is stone and clay. There is no greenery, there is no grass, there isn't even any wood, not even in any part of the building. Looking at some of the windowsills of these buildings that would ostensibly be wood, they're crafted of the same yellow clay.
Okay.
I feel like we're in a sand castle, but like a sand city.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
Can I like reach down, not far, to kind of just like, I'm still holding the stick again. I don't know what it does, but it's gonna make me feel better about it. But just sort of like trace around my foot at the sort of clay.
Okay. You put the tip of this stick down and just kind of play through the dirt with it. And as you draw a circle around yourself, something happens.
Oh no! 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 No!
Oh, what are the odds?
No! 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 No!
What
no.
are the odds of that? And she's just like, I'm gonna draw a circle.
Oh
around
no! No!
myself.
No! That was loud.
That's pretty cool. This circle you trace on the ground flashes and alights with a bright blue arcane energy before flashing upward and enveloping Cammy completely. The energy shoots up around her, and you lose sight of her for a brief moment before this fades as quickly as it appeared, and she looks perfectly normal. Scared, but with a visible blue shimmer across her skin.
What's happening to me?
I don't know. Did you touch it?
I touched the ground.
Was that kind of some kind of new spell you've learned?
Go and unfold the staff one time, please.
Ew.
Not the dirt, just the stick.
We all start drawing
Oh.
circles.
Okay, charged. The staff is a +3 greater striking staff when linked to you.
And the top of the staff is now glowing.
Oh, can I point it somewhere? Not at anybody.
Would you like to point it? You absolutely I can't stop you.
I kind of do.
Here, hit this wall.
I'm glowing. Huh? Hit
Where are
what?
you-
Hit the
kinda
wall
pointing
next
it?
to me. I'll move out of the way.
The wall next
Okay.
to Reginald?
I'm gonna move.
As soon as like given a target, like she's like.
I'm gonna go
kidding,
back
like,
towards
are
the party.
serious?
You
Like, yeah.
point it at the storefront near Reginald. And nothing happens.
Oh,
And then the tip of your staff flashes and goes out and stops glowing.
No, it stopped.
There is pause for about 1-ish seconds before you hear a roaring flame above you. And you look up and see 4 meteors
Oh no.
descending down towards the
This was a
street.
mistake. This was a mistake.
Get go! Oh my god!
Cammy runs. What's everyone else doing?
I also
No. That way.
run.
Away from
Stage
the store.
left.
Do you guys just scatter? Or
No, running with Cammy.
Running in the
Yes.
opposite direction of the way she pointed.
Yeah,
Fair
she
enough.
cast the spell. I'm following her.
Okay.
I'm not running the direction of the house, that's for sure.
So you guys run, you take a right, you run east down this street, getting some distance before these all crash in massive explosions of fire that destroy the front of this building. Absolutely obliterated. 4 ear-shattering blasts, followed by the tumultuous sound of a 7-story building sliding into rubble in the street.
Sir, a 4th meteor has hit the building.
Stop. I was thinking the
No.
same thing.
It
Stop.
collapses.
You might have wanted to save that, actually.
Into
I guess that was my
the
fault.
street, bits still burning, flames alight amongst the rubble.
Cammy, how about we don't just play with things
You feel
don't
the
know?
energy leave the staff completely.
I do a little circle around me again.
Nothing happens.
No.
You're still shimmering blue, but the staff has nothing.
Do we after that happened? Do we hear anything else from anywhere else? Like did we away
Give me a perception check, Seeker man.
alarm
Oh,
anybody?
I'm a seeker man.
Can you hear anything after
I rolled
4
a
meteors?
17 on the die plus 18 is
Everyone
35.
else is very distracted by the explosions and the fire.
This wasn't.
You hear footsteps.
I wonder why.
Small, but several of them behind you, and see what looks like a group of ghouls approaching from the south. And as you look and kind of lock eyes with them, the one in the front bares its teeth, and they rush towards you.
This wasn't a stealth
Everybody roll
mission,
me
right?
some
Was it?
initiative.
Was it?
That doesn't matter now.
Oh, by the way,
Oh no!
Stealth optional. Meteor.
I wanted to do the mirror whenever we went down to the dreamland. I have the mirror to see
take it.
myself
Only,
Okay.
right?
sleeping.
All right, fair
Just-
enough.
Yeah.
Makes
So we'll get you
sense.
last because we have your timey-wimey nonsense. Marius,
30.
30.
No.
MD,
I messed up. I really goofed this one,
Hey, you
guys.
know where you could have thrown the meteor?
No. That's really a shame.
MD.
I rolled a 6 on the die. Would be a 24, but I'm not really feeling it, so it's a 23.
You do have a -1 to your initiative from the melancholy trait.
Guess who would have tied him if he didn't have a -1?
Trey up top,
24.
Cammy,
32.
32. She's very acutely
I'm
aware of what
really
has
alert.
happened. Reginald, as has happened many times before, you see time stop. You see this energy flowing around you. What do you do?
I'm trying to think. There's the one that
There's destabilize, stabilize, and just roll with it.
This one says your initiative is 19 plus your initiative modifier.
Is that right? Yeah, if it's the coin flip 50-50. Oops. My goal. It's the coin flip 50-50.
I
My
will.
goals.
I will do that one to one where I can possibly roll the highest.
Roll a d20.
Natural 20.
Well, it's now a 19.
Oh.
Slightly demoted.
Oh man!
You destabilize the time stream and you ride it.
Rip.
As you spring into action,
Back
everything
over.
slowly goes around. That's kind of funny that you can actually roll higher than the good result. So what's your total perception for initiative?
was it-
This is definitely just a reaction.
19 plus 17 is 36.
36.
Dang. I'm gone.
Same.
Feels weird being 3rd.
It feels weird being last.
I can't help but feel a little
Well,
responsible.
you're not last.
Oh, they're just regular goals.
Didn't roll good. I got to pre-announce villain points.
How many bad guys do we see?
You see 4 rushing up the street, running almost on like feral, on all fours, rushing towards you.
Don't get touched. Just yell that out loud. Okay. I don't know. They're zombies.
So what do you do?
Every man for himself. Am I up?
Yeah, you're first, buddy. You stay above the time stream.
You roll so good.
I did roll very well.
so good.
I don't want my friends to get hurt. So,
We're friends again.
well, it's
Associates.
we're survivalists.
He's gonna take it back.
Backies.
I will. Let's see. How long does that takes that, and then it's just shooting. Just an attack is one action, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, but moving is also an action.
Yes.
Dang it! And I'm not next to the person I want to possibly protect. Nope. You know what? Doesn't matter. I am going to
Being first is a doozy.
Yeah, being
phase.
things are happening.
I was possibly thinking about going to cast a spell, but I was like, this isn't that big enough of battle. I am going to move backwards and phase bolt.
Back pedal, bolt to the rear. All right, was that an attack roll?
Yes.
Give me a shot.
11 plus spell attack is 16, so that's a 27.
27 will hit.
I guess that first one. That's
I
right.
hit the
there.
one right in front.
Yeah. 7d4.
74.
Wow.
That's 2 less than the trombones.
Womp womp.
At least you knew what it was. Okay.
3, 4, 7, 8. Just 3 more.
Mini D4s.
Yeah.
D4
8
party.
plus
They're cooking over
5,
there.
so that's 13. That's a total of
cooking.
15. And I will move. Yeah, I'll move next to.
Oh, try not quite.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I have
Thought safe.
15 points of damage as your bolt
Yeah.
sears out, hitting the first of these ghouls, collides with a flash and an impact, and he tumbles to the ground. Cammy.
I'm feeling a little guilty. I
new.
can't help but feel like this is my fault. I'm going to kind of even almost like sort of shove Marius forward to go handle them. Go. That's stoke the heart. And then I'm going to wield my staff, and I'm going to hold it out to them, and I'm going to say, "Stay back! I don't know how to use this." That's fear. It's a 3rd level, so it will target all of them.
Or will it?
That's fair.
It will.
Okay.
Up to 5 creatures. So, yeah, that's will. That's will.
Truly beautiful.
I'm a danger to myself and you.
It's will saves it.
Okay. What's your spell DC?
It's 29 now.
Nice.
The first one got a natural 20.
Okay,
Nice.
I don't care about him.
So that's a regular success because he still failed. The second one gets a 19,
they suck.
which critically fails.
You remember the goals we
third
fought
one
in the
gets
asylum?
a 21,
ghouls.
so he regular fails. So we
Okay,
have a
so-
regular success, a critical failure, and a regular failure.
Frightened 1,
and
2,
a critical
3.
success. We have one of each?
No.
Oh, because the one got.
is a corpse.
Yes,
just a
you're so
regular
right
dead
about
body,
that.
yeah.
So
Okay,
One is
success,
frightened.
failure,
Well, they're all
critical
corpses,
failure.
but yeah.
Okay, the success
That's
is
offensive.
the succeeding
did
one
we
is
already-
frightened 1.
Okay, first
The
guy
failure
spooked.
one is frightened 2.
Second, third guy, spooker.
I might not.
Okay,
use
the
this.
third one is frightened 3 and fleeing
The
for
in
one
the
round.
middle, you see as you cast your spell, it sees the stick and like comes almost to a like cartoonish all fours and turns around and starts to sprint the other direction.
Remember the goals we fought back in the asylum?
There are 2 left approaching. Marius.
I wanted to do
They
this
could be so
before we
influenced.
saw anybody. Does the how to disguise still work in a dreamland?
Yeah, if you want to. Sure does.
Okay. I'm going to think about ghouls and change my appearance, and you're gonna see Marius kind of the appearance shimmer and change, and then he looks exactly the same. But if you were a ghoul, he would look completely different and unrecognizable.
He looks like he does in the waking world.
Shame to us living.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like you won't notice the difference, but to a ghoul, he's no longer Marius. He's some other completely
different ghoul now.
different
All right,
ghoul.
fair enough.
Real
Two
ghouls
actions
will
left.
know.
Real ghouls will know.
Hunt prey on the one to the left.
Okay, the
living one.
slightly frightened one.
Yeah, and
Who
I'll
rolled
give
a
him
20 and only regular succeeded.
a regular hunted shot.
Pew, pew.
Two arrows.
He's dead. Congratulations.
That 4 is not going to do much.
What's
I
the
don't think.
total?
What's the total?
Well,
They're like AC
that'd
22.
be 24.
Hits.
Okay,
Like I said.
and then 14 plus 17.
Crits.
Okay.
He's dead.
Okay.
I think it's a corpse, but go ahead and roll a
That
dice
was
roll.
already a
I
corpse.
do not think he's taking a hit and a crit from Marius,
Yeah.
who is stoked.
We should
I'm
fight
gonna
these
take him
more
off
Yeah,
the
Okay.
I
board
don't
now.
even want to do the math. But
Look, he has 15 hit points.
okay.
That's
And
minimum damage on a crit.
I'm sure it's close to that, if not high. With doubled stoke, I'm pretty sure he's just straight up dead to stoke damage. Like the arrows are secondary. Like,
I'll hunt prey in the other one. And then just,
well, redisguise
you're right,
yourself.
you're right.
Okay, so Trey, you're up. There's only one of them still approaching, but you hear more feral growling and screaming coming from all around you.
They don't really seem like they're a threat. I'm going to take a moment to perception. Where does it sound like the worst of it's coming from? Does a 19 tell me which way's the
Yeah,
loudest?
if you
Like-
just take an action, I don't even need
Yeah,
to roll
it's
necessarily. You just take an action
Where's
and
the
focus.
loudest noise?
They are coming from down the street in either direction, to your right or to your left. Sounds like both sides.
I will go post up behind Reginald, one square in front of him, so that anything coming from those two directions runs into me first.
Fair enough.
And then I will raise shield.
As you sit up there with your shield at the ready, MD.
I'm
There's one ghoul still running at you, you can see.
gonna use 2 actions to teleport strike him.
Do it.
Yeah. 12 on the die. It's a total of 32. 33.
Still crits.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think he's alive.
I don't think he's alive either.
Because you are a roguewa, which means he's flat-footed because you beat him in initiative.
That's only a stealth. If I make a stealth or
Yeah.
something.
Oh,
no
not
stealth.
when you just do perception. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. But still.
So just kill him with a regular hit.
yeah. It's 3 6s.
Yeah. Stop. Leave him alone. He's recorpse.
he's already
You see
dead.
MD take this big hand-and-a-half sword, blink over, and as his gas is running forward, the blade straight up shears him completely in half. The back legs launching themselves still a little bit from that last step as the top of the torso just tumbles in a tangle on the
Do the
ground.
legs keep running for a few steps?
You have like the
And I use my
Never even
last
got a
action
turn.
to
strike.
get next to Cammy.
It falls back. We've condensed ourselves into the safety nugget as ghouls pour out from either side. You see doors of buildings, mostly crafted of yellow ceramic, thrown open, many broken free of their hinges. Ghouls scrambling out of windows, pouring out from the space between buildings, rushing in from both sides of the street.
He who dies.
Oh, give me a hue.
Or is this not a threatening encounter?
Oh, you actually don't feel your psychosis right now. None of you feel any of your. You
that's
feel
right.
like
We're
in the
feel like it's
dream.
because of the coincidence of the
good.
situation.
Wait, does
But-
that mean that when I'm in the dream I don't get my buff too?
Yeah, we talked about this.
We talked
I
about
Yeah.
this.
forgot about
Together
that.
anyways.
More approach.
Does it matter?
Wait, I would have.
Oh no! I thought we just really killed that.
Reginald.
Okay.
As you see these ghouls pouring through the roads to rush towards you, you see others. You see faces poking out from windows around the roads. You see other ghouls hiding around corners, just peeking. You see ghouls sheltering each other, hunkering down in some of the buildings around you.
Wait, so they look like civil? Like some look civil? Is that what you're
They
saying?
certainly aren't rushing you. They look like they're hiding.
Some ghouls are hiding.
They're hiding, but they really want to look. So like you don't even perceive. Like they're watching, but they're watching like
Ghouls do have society.
peeking over windowsills. And
Right.
you were investigating at the start of this fight, so why don't you give me a religion check and see what you do know about ghouls?
Religion, not know too much. It's 23.
23. You know plenty about ghouls. They are an incredibly common undead scourge in the normal world, and seemingly here in the Dreamland as well. As these look as ghoul as any that you know.
Okay.
You know one of them actually, Marius, is fully a ghoul. They
Okay.
are not mindless zombies.
Right.
They are infected. It is a disease. Don't let them touch you. Is
Right.
actually correct. It's their bites can not just turn you into one of them, but also inflict paralysis. But you know that they have their minds. They're just overwhelmed by these hungers, these cravings for flesh.
Yeah.
That just completely clouds them to be non-functional beasts.
Okay. I'm going to. I wonder if there was a way that I could get everybody to follow me. Well, I don't know if I could do this. All right, we're gonna have to make a run for it, and I'm going to touch you and cast invisibility on you.
Ooh.
Just
Reaches
so.
over, casts a spell, and Cammy disappears.
Yes, and then I'm.
I go, ah! And then I'm like, oh.
What you do to Cam?
Oh, that's oh my gosh.
I'm trying to
So
think.
cool, I never get to do
Um,
this.
I always wanted him to. But he never.
It was always easy, always gonna do
Mr.
it.
All the
GM,
time.
that pipe that I have,
Yes.
is that a 1 action or 2 action thing?
Great question.
I was
what's
trying
it,
to
what's
find
it
it.
called? Do you have the
Um,
name of the thing?
A vaporous pipe.
Let's find out.
Always vaping.
Let's say for the purposes of it being cool that right now it's definitely 1 action.
Yeah.
And then I will determine
Because it's cool.
for the future how many it's supposed to be. But right now it's 1.
Yeah, then
It is actually just 1. It is just
okay,
1
cool.
action.
Yeah, so basically I have my pipe close by, I take it, I blow, I create tons of smoke around me.
She's vaping.
I can see and nobody else can in my I believe it's what 30
It's a 30-foot
sphere.
radius.
So
you
60
fill the
feet.
entire street.
Yes.
It's just blow out a massive cloud.
And I tell you to stay close to me.
He is vaping.
And I want to. That would be the end of my turn, but the idea would be to go and basically grab Trey as well to stay close to me as well to try and guide them through the smoke.
Kind of reaching out as the smoke envelops you. Cammy, you disappear, and then suddenly everything disappears. You can see, so it is concealment. You can see the shape. It's not so thick you're completely blind. You can see the shapes of your party around you. You can see Reginald reaching out for Trey.
I say,
You
"Grab my
can no
coat."
longer see the ghouls. You can't see the ghouls. They're too far away.
Okay.
And I'm hoping
Okay.
they can't see this.
Yeah, I think Kimmy lets out a little yelp at first as she begins to disappear, and then realizing that she's just invisible, she'll be like, "Okay." And I'm going to grab onto, like, I'm going to take like a bunch full of the back of his coat,
Yeah.
and I'm going to reach
tail.
out for MD as well, and just try and grab some of him. Come with me. Come with me. You just feel like a pat on like the back of your calf, maybe.
She gets smaller every single session.
And I guess I'm gonna hold my turn for now.
All right, Marius, how about you?
Can you do that? Like hold your turn to
Yeah,
walk
you can
or
just
hold your turn to...
pause. Like, so she hasn't taken
Your
any
movement.
actions.
Yeah.
She's basically just saying some things, and then she hasn't actually taken her turn. She's just holding, and she can at any point say, "I want to take my turn now."
I'm letting
after
you
somebody's
cook.
turn and come in. Marius, go
So,
ahead.
I'm
is everything completely concealed? I can't see anything now.
Yes. You can. Yeah, that distance you can see the party, and like you can barely make out Trey, but you're too far to see any of the ghouls.
Well-
It's a huge smoke cloud.
I mostly wanted to know if I look down, there's no extremely coincidental manhole covers like right around where we're
Doesn't look
standing.
like it, that way.
gosh.
Okay.
Are we about to become Ninja Turtles?
Cowabummer.
There's a lot of rubble, some little embers from Cammy's terror attack earlier, but
I'm
otherwise,
really
no.
sorry. I did not mean it. It was an accident.
At this point, I think I might just try to just shout, "We didn't do it."
We didn't do it.
That wasn't us.
Explosion, building collapses, huge smoke cloud. My bad. I mean, we didn't do it.
And
Diplomacy of the ghouls.
yeah, I might have to hold my
You
turn.
want to
gosh.
make the diplomacy check, or you want to hold your turn?
I want to hold my turn because my diplomacy is -1.
We're all gonna let you go.
You're up, Trey. You are close enough that you can still see the shapes of these ghouls, who all kind of immediately stop and throw their hands up, not sure what's happening, and then are looking around, and they do still see you. You're close enough they can see you. You're just concealed.
That means they're close enough to intimidate one of them.
Yes, you are.
I
About us
will
not doing it.
stance. I haven't done that in a minute.
Stance it.
But what
Stance,
is
brother.
at level easy DC? Because it got changed from
Well,
normal
Easy's
to
in a
easy.
coma, but the at level DC is 25.
What's the easy?
25.
Okay.
Easy's
Then
a bard.
I need a 4. So
They made it a lot better.
yeah,
Rolls a 1.
not
Oh
20.
well, I don't know
You
why.
very
we
did
All
talked-
right, cool.
You
Everybody
very-
gets a buff right now because it goes to 20 feet.
And you all, and this will be the first time you would experience this, Reginald, hear almost a whispering in the back of your mind. You can't make out any words, instructions, exactly what it is, but it seems to be guiding you. It lets you feel like almost like you're moving in tandem with it somehow, whether you will to or not. Now, what do they get? What do they win?
So on crit, you inflict the frightened 1, and any damage dealt, unless there's a higher instance of it, everybody gets a +2, just flat to their damage.
Everybody's a little stoked.
Everybody's a little stoked.
You got 2 actions left.
Then I'm going to intimidate the closest one that I can see and raise my shield. I dare you to come over here and find out why I'm standing by myself.
The beacon of truth that is Trey on the map.
Another
I love
hand
Marcus
touches the
March.
beacon.
Another hand touches the
Oh my god!
How about a 38?
You know, if he could wither into it, like cringe into a singularity and die, he would. But that
Oh.
You know,
critically succeeds. That's
you know the moment when the
This feels
cockroach
bad.
has wings?
yeah.
That,
Yeah.
When he discovered they could fly. MD.
I'm gonna feel Cammy's hand pat on my leg. I'm just gonna reach down to where I feel her and just pick her up.
No, wait, I've got to. I'm holding on to
You are,
his coat.
she is invisible, and you feel her like pulling your pants off.
Yeah.
The leg of your
Yeah,
pants has
let's
got in
go.
their hand.
No, wait,
Pick
I
her
have
up.
his coat.
No,
I can't.
she has my coat.
And
So
I'm gonna
I'm
step
You're
forward
exposing me.
No, I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna
I don't.
step
Don't put me down.
forward
Put me down.
and
Put me
put
down.
my hand on Frenchie's shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah, that's literally, and then raise the shield with the other. Like yeah, I have not enough hands. Yeah,
Use a
pick her up, grab Reggie, and that's it.
All right, do you want to come in?
I'm gonna keep waiting. I want to. Oh, but I'm not going to be able to wait until after
You can.
Reggie.
You can hop down.
You can
Yeah.
come in whenever you want. Like,
I'm gonna keep. I think he's cooking on something. I'm gonna let him
Marius?
cook.
Nope.
I'm following
Even though we've
blindly.
already kind of dug a hole, I think I'm gonna continue to just wait because I don't want to kill any more of them in case
Right.
we can somehow talk our way out of
The
this.
ghoul in the front, the most fear he's ever experienced in his life, is immediately going. The front closest to the tray is going to turn around and run. You see that figure recede back from the smoke as the other 3 launch themselves in. They are just running in. So the nearest one's going to lunge at you.
Do I need to roll 2 of them die?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh man.
they do.
Yeah.
Let's
You're
see.
right.
On a 1, 24.
Is maybe a miss. It'll be a regular hit, so
Okay.
go down to a miss.
So
Yeah.
I'll see if I
Roll.
roll 2 1s. That's not a 1.
Okay.
That's a 14. So
What's the
It was a 20. It was a 32 and a
Super dead.
Oh my.
The 32 is the low one. They're very
37.
It's dead. Dead. They're dead. The two
Too
of them
rich
lunge
for
at
my
you.
I have a
blue
plus
blood.
23.
And the rest of you can see these shapes launch into smoke, and Trey, like this heavy steel shield up, just catch them one after the other, impaling them and just straight through and casting them aside. Two of them fall, while the third launches himself in. I was told I have instant refunds on villain points, but I feel like this is rude. I'm gonna do it anyway. As Introx said, I have instant refunds.
Can it hit me on a 20?
Probably. We'll find out.
Find out.
31.
What?
Yeah, I'm sure it can.
I've got a shield raised.
Yeah.
Oh man.
As Introx said,
I
the
can't-
refunds are coming, so I'm spending a villain point. I'm rolling twice, and I'm taking the better. He totally can.
He's
Six
got
remaining.
this.
6 remaining villain point refunded. Hee 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 hee. Ghoul.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad. He did it, right?
The highest is a 20.
Oh.
Got the
Like,
school.
just the 20 plus the total is a
Oh.
20.
That's critically fails.
Yes. So
Do it again, but lie this time.
Is he like
he
tickling?
does have
Make them happy.
one more attack. That's an 8.
Almost.
Does an 8 hit you?
Yeah. Almost.
It hits the armor.
Do you guys remember how ravaged you got by ghouls in book 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like these encounters.
On the other side, 4 more ghouls somewhat cautiously enter the smoke. They do see the party, but they don't really visually make contact until they're pretty close to you. So their entire turn is just closing in and rushing up to surround MD and Marius.
Okay,
No
can I
actions
actually
left
hop
to
in?
actually attack.
Yeah.
You are, Candy.
No, since
You
these are
see
so easy to kill, I
ghouls-
want in.
I want in! Out of my.
I hope that this does this mess up the invisibility. If I hit somebody.
Is it an
Invisibility, I
attack?
believe, is it once
Yeah.
you use
If
an.
you use an attack, you will appear.
But does she get like a plus to that attack?
They're flat-footed,
Okay, so it gives like a plus 2 to her.
That seems
on top.
rude.
basically.
I see the value in spell slots.
What are you doing, Cammy?
Just
Are
hit
you
him with
coming
the
in? You're
stick.
still holding.
I want to hit one.
Just hit him with the stick.
Hit him from invisible.
You have a stick.
Do it.
I have a cantrip though.
Come in the head with the stick.
Give him a
Okay, you
bomb.
want it or not, Cammy? What do you
I
do?
want it.
All right, what do
I'm
you
sorry.
do?
I'm gonna. They're so easy to hit. You're stoked. Anyways, I look at the one who just came up to MD.
Now, I will note, we're gonna we hand waved it last time because the fight was very difficult. If you are riding another party member, you are
Yes.
both slowed 1. You have
Yes.
2 actions.
You're not stoked.
He doesn't need it. He's fine.
He's not even in right now.
Well, to be
He's thinking
fair,
about coming
you
in.
can stoke and sustain without breaking invisible.
I don't want to spend focus points. I don't know if I'm gonna stay after this. This is a cantrip. I'm gonna leaping out of the invisibility. Like she just can't help herself.
He looks
She's
like he's
so
holding an
excited.
invisible baby.
Yeah.
When the ghouls approach, hunger in their eyes, claws raised, and the baby just like, ha! They get jump scared.
It's disrupt undead.
He's disrupted, I'll
He's
tell you that.
disrupted.
Does he make a save?
Basic fortitude save. We're gonna need to know because if he crit fails that, he's enfeebled.
No, if he crit fails, he's dead.
He has I want you to know, his modifier is 6.
Yeah!
Let's see.
Here we go.
He got a 13.
Critically.
Enfeebled.
He is, yeah, I mean, that's it. He is.
He's
That's-
dead.
He's definitely
How many-
enfeebled, but
5d6.
I know, and I'm gonna.
I'm
get
just saying.
he doesn't get to
This
do
is
this
what
very
I
often.
came in
She
for.
could
I know
only roll
exactly what I'm
5.
doing.
Could be all ones.
She crit failed.
I see a
There's a
few.
couple of ones. That's 6, 4, 12.
Is that doubled or total?
On a crit fail, that
Oh, that's
doubles.
the total. Oh, yeah, so 24.
Yeah, he's dead. He's enfeebled infinity, as Arcadis put it. And
His heart stopped.
jump scares.
It
It
was
does
already
literally just stop rigid like a board and just falls over backwards in the street. Reginald,
Oh,
you definitely have 2 right in front of you now, Marius, if you want to have better.
Yeah, sure.
And you're not
go.
stoked.
I'll go now. Okay.
You're not stoked.
You're not stoked.
I'm just gonna be a little greedy with it, and I'm going to not hunt prey on anybody. I'm just gonna very awkwardly, because this is a very long bow, try to hit.
Very
the
-2edly take a
Yeah,
shot
the
at this
one.
ghoul.
We
that
both
is
said we were going to wait till
trying to jump
after
on
Brett's turn. But then after seeing
All right,
beef it
that's-
so hard, we hopped in before anyways.
It might miss
easy.
with a 35.
dirty. Yeah, okay. Yep, that crits.
Okay,
He's dead.
he's dead.
Next,
Hey!
please.
This is the best fight ever.
Natural 20.
She's
Yeah!
dead. Okay, two in front of you.
dead.
Just
You want to shoot
Do
the
it
one in front
again!
of you
you're
in front
sitting
of
there
me?
with the Lamo as they come in, just
Yeah.
catching them with arrows and just the sheer
the-
concussive sonic force of the arrows
The last one in
blasting
front
them
of you.
tumbling.
Bring
down.
us some more.
I guess
Where's the
it's
next
one
wave?
technically closest to Cammy.
Yeah.
Every wave they go
That's
up
probably
a
gonna
level.
miss. That's a
No way.
No, that'd be fine.
5, 13.
Wow, you actually missed. All right, you did it.
That's
That
embarrassing.
will in fact miss.
Yeah, that's still the very without the
drawing
multiple
it.
attacks.
Yeah, without the
Plus one
ranger
action.
thing, that's what everyone else has to deal with all the time. That's what they get normally. You guys have to do -10. You guys,
It's
Reginald.
crazy.
All right.
There's
I
one
am.
ghoul next to MD near you, and one ghoul that just kind of trying desperately to claw and bite around Trey's shield to the other side.
And if I have a crossbow, I have to use a reload action for one bolt
You would need
reload.
to-
One
yes,
bolt.
you can't carry a crossbow loaded because of the way a crossbow is.
Sure.
I've also given you freebies on this one, but we've had our learning battles now. You would need to load it and then shoot it. So it'll be 2 actions.
Okay.
And when you can carry it in your hand loaded, you can't have it on your hip loaded. So when you
Got
pull
it.
it out, it's got to be loaded.
Okay. I am going to run and stab things. But I guess I have to also I have to pull out that as well, which is also an action.
Yes, so you get your cane sword ready.
Cane sword
I
out.
could say you were out in a weird dream environment. You guys probably had your
We
weapons
all
ready.
would
It's
be
like-
armed.
Okay.
So you're good on that.
All right. Actually, I would like to go down, basically a bit like a running back, right down the alley. Yeah. Sports ball.
Sports ball.
We love
and
that here.
I will-
Everybody here knows about.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm multicultural.
Get the point.
Oh my God.
Score.
Is that what that means? And then I will attack that guy.
Score the
Are you
touchback.
devising or
run.
are you just hitting him?
No, I'm gonna devise a stride.
right.
Goal.
This. What's my thing? That's a free thing.
If your thing right now is red webbed womp foot, it is a free action to devise against the ghouls.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, doctor.
Because that's the reason that you're here. That's how you found this. Is
Right.
learning that they are
It's
like
exact, and I never changed
corpse
it.
feeders. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you still had that. So you would have
You're a good lawyer.
free action.
Okay.
It's free.
Probably not gonna use that.
Are you sure?
What is it?
Oh, it's a 3 plus 19, so it's 22.
Yeah, he's dead.
You want to use it?
I think you'll be okay, really.
Should I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me your damage.
Plus
They're like
3d6.
level what?
These
2?
guys
They're
suck.
level 2.
It's like,
Plus
at the
3.
I'm not even
beginning-
rolling the
Plus
stench because I'm not gonna
3d6.
make you guys roll a DC 16 for
We're like the beginning of Luigi's Mansion,
Level
where they
92
let you
plus
fight all the really
21.
cruddy enemies to practice.
2d6 plus 3, and that's 9, so that's 12.
And then 3 more D6s. He's dead. He's a corpse.
Yeah.
You're peeling him off a Trey's shield. He's gone.
12 plus 10, so that is 22.
Yeah, he's super duper dead.
Okay.
This rules.
That was out. Movement killed that thing.
One left.
I'm going to keep going this way, and then I'm going to keep going down.
You just
Down
whack
the
it
alleyway.
off Trey's shield and just run
Yeah,
down this alley to the south. Trey,
Quickly!
Stab. Stab.
he's dead. Do you want to roll it? Do you like
Sure.
rolling dice? Rolling dice is
do.
fun. It's over
die.
here, right?
18 on the
He's
die.
so that's his AC.
He's flat-footed.
Yeah.
That's what his AC is.
He's also
He's
flat-footed.
flat-footed. Hi.
Yeah, he is. I
Yeah.
mean, he's flat. I think just like horizontal in general. After that, probably.
Yeah.
Flat back.
Flat-backed, flat-backed. It's like,
And
You're all
then I'm
dead.
just going to
Vacuum
run
seal.
in the direction that I heard Reginald go.
Yeah.
whoop. MD.
I threw you on my shoulders.
Use
I'm
my
on his
I'm
shoulders.
slow carrying Cammy. Moving
Ride.
30 feet of movement. I have 60 feet of movement total. So
So you can rush down to the alley here, leaving
Which is
just
good, 'cause I'm so
Marius. Marius, you hear more
this way.
growling and feral screaming coming from around you, and you see your party retreating, but you don't see any more ghouls rush into the fog immediately. Do you follow?
I'm going to follow. I'm going to
Probably
with them.
smart.
Are they all dead? Did we
Away.
kill all of them?
Yeah, you kill the ones that were there.
Oh, sweet.
You currently 12 is the current kill count.
We just got here, and
Deja
that
vu.
was
How
many were
not
in the
mission.
building?
12 plus mysterious building numbers.
Oh,
You all rush off down this side alley, bursting free from the smoke. As you come into the alley, you see a pair of ghouls down the other end of the alley that are just sort of standing there. You know, this is going to be probably a relatable thing for everyone. You know how when literally anything is happening anywhere, there's people just kind of like standing somewhere between 30 and 50 feet away, just kind of watching. Even if it's, definitely a thing, they should not be nearby.
Are there phones in this world? Are they like recording?
They're making TikTok. Like they're
Painting a
watching.
small picture.
And as the 5 of you, MD carrying Cammy, burst out from the smoke, they like panic and scramble and run the other direction. They were
You know who
definitely
hasn't
not
been
rushing
killed?
you. They were just
The ones running away.
watching. You rush down this side street, putting distance between you and this collapsed building. How far are you going?
Until Reggie says to stop.
Well, this is time for communication. Where do you think we should go? Where is this going to?
He says as you just kind of darting down out.
Yeah, darting down outwards.
um,
Oh, I do have a thing about cities. Like I know city. Is this like a city?
This is very much
Yes.
a city.
This is like a city.
This is a
There's
city
a
that
thing
there
I
is.
have about like navigating through cities. I think I have something about that. Hold on, I have so many papers. Excuse me. Sorry.
I think we should at least run until it doesn't look like the people around us have noticed that a building has collapsed.
Yes, I like that.
You run for a while, putting numerous buildings between you. The scale of this city is massive. Shooting through alleys across another couple of huge thoroughfares like the one in which you had first arrived, you end up putting a lot of distance between you and the collapse behind you. The streets all look the same. Every corner you turn, every road, every boulevard, stone and yellow clay, stone and yellow clay, stone and yellow clay. You pass some dirt roads, some smaller buildings as you start to move out of the center of the city that are created entirely of what looks like this clay, shaped and cast like logs, like entire trunks of trees stood up and stacked together. You pass through parks of trees and shrubs and what would be, normally strips of greenery on the sides of a main road that is all just sculpted of this identical yellow clay. The only two materials you ever see around you, gray stone and this yellow clay. You finally stop in a smaller alley, having put like a full 2 minutes of running between you and where you were. The roads are starting to spread out and the buildings are starting to thin a little. They've certainly gotten much, much smaller. You no longer hear the sounds of the growling, the ravenous hunger seething behind you. In fact, it is just silence here in the streets.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
All right. Nobody got bit or touched or anything?
no,
Okay.
no, we got him. I'm sorry about that.
No more exploding buildings, please.
I didn't know that would do that.
That was on me. I kind of called it too. I was like, "Yeah, give that a try." It's a dumb idea.
Right then.
We are looking for these womp things, right? This is beyond. They're not just ghouls, right? They're like
A womp is a thing that eats the ghouls, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know.
A red-footed beast of some kind.
Why don't we just ask the
Feed on
locals?
carrion and often
we
carry
could.
these
We
diseases.
could. I have a thing called Eyes of the City where we could ask the locals
Yeah, if they'll talk to us.
if they'll talk to us.
I mean, they might at least talk to me.
that's true.
Or at
That's
least,
true.
at least I can get an in, and then you can do the talking because I'm not good.
Can
at
I help
talking.
him with that? Because
What
I have this.
what I do for rolling things is like if you're all there participating, whoever has the good rolls can roll it. If it's a group effort, doesn't matter who is literally RP talking. You can use whoever's got the best rolls. You're all present.
Because I had this thing, Eyes of the City. Do you know what it does? You track down targets with the help of locals. You use a diplomacy or a society, whichever you're trained in. To track creatures in settlements, you can chat with locals to help you follow the trails of creatures you track at the
Sounds like
GM's
step one is find some locals.
discretion. What?
Sounds like step one is find some locals.
Correct. Yeah.
Knock on some doors.
So let's, I guess now that we created some distance, Marius, you might want to, I'll be right behind you, but you take head on this.
Yes, but you also can't take aid. So, is there
No,
any
that's
level of RP disconnect of his not trusting of us?
Well, I will still. He doesn't necessarily need your aid
We're in the dream.
directly.
Okay.
And you're in the dream, right? He
Or it
doesn't
doesn't
actually have
matter.
that right now. You're
Oh,
fine.
okay.
You're in the dream.
All right.
I'm just sad normally.
You're just regular sad. This place does have it makes you. It's oppressive.
No different.
It makes you depressed.
Uh,
You looking around seem like you're in now an area of the town with still many buildings being 2 or 3 stories, still crafted of stone and yellow, but skewing more towards the yellow clay. There are more gaps, though. They look less like parks and more just undeveloped areas. Not far away, you can see what look like they may almost be the outlying smaller farmsteads or homes. And again, it's nothing but stone and yellow clay. The windows of these buildings all seem to be gone entirely. But if there was ever glass, it's simply absent. They're just openings. Most doors being crafted of this yellow clay are destroyed, either left on the ground near where they once were, some gingerly leaned up against the sides of door frames just out of the way, but their hinges not really functional.
Does the sky look normal?
It's dark and
dreamy.
gloomy, but normal. Nothing out of the ordinary you can really see.
All right.
And you can see a lot more of it from here.
Well, I think I would want to lead us toward a casual business, something like a general store or a tavern, you know.
You see a building with a sign hanging out in front of it that seems friendly enough, much like what you would see in a tavern back in your world.
It's a smiling pig.
2 simple signposts holding up what look like a chain to a hanging, what would be wooden sign, but every bit of this is yellow clay. The posts, the chain, the sign itself, as is much of the front of the building that isn't gray stone. As you head up to the void that was once the front door and look inside, it looks like it was a small tavern or a restaurant, and you see 2 things of immediate interest. First, there are clay figures in here, just sort of heaped against the wall, laid, tumbled amongst each other, sculpted as if they were in sitting positions, some standing, most at that angle, some literally leaned up with their backs against the walls, carved like they would sit in a chair. The second is a ghoul who, just standing on the far end of the room behind a yellow clay counter, hears the footsteps approaching and is looking curiously towards the door, and his eyes go very, very wide as the group of you enter.
But he's first.
Well, actually,
Is it just you going in?
I just
I
wanted you to be
assume
like,
I'm going in first, but
So the
You're
guy
leading.
doesn't
Yeah.
panic and run away.
I actually want to ask a question now.
Yes.
Well, as we're walking up, like seeing like the sign and the figures, with my like crafting knowledge that I definitely have,
Stonecrafting.
can I see the finer details to see whether or not these look like crafted things, or like if they look almost uncanny, like something else that was turned into?
You're investigating. You want to switch to investigating?
Yeah.
Both of you guys give me. I want to again take nature crafting checks. Actually, give me crafting checks.
I want to use my stonemasonry.
You have Lord Stone Masonry? Absolutely. Oh, never mind. He's got it. It's dwarf.
It's
dwarf.
Oh,
It's
dwarf,
not-
like the door frame.
He got a natural 20 on this. He's a dwarf
He
framing
never
expert.
gets to use dwarf time.
As you head into this,
So proud
looking
of
at the
him.
sign, the chain that's supporting it, looking like it's sagging with the way the heavy clay bearing down these clay rings. The grain of the wood in the door frame. There's
The grain
no
of the clay.
way they were made like this.
Mm.
Everything about this screams that it was somehow transformed into the material that it is now. Absolutely everything save for the gray stone. Metal chain links, wooden signs, and as you step into the door of this little bar, it sure looks like a lot of the people, too. That's where we're going to leave today's session.
I say we do a second session right now to make up for the missing week.
When we come back,
You know who's been
Next time.
fighting for longer?
No.
we will
It's dwarfing time.
see if there's anything to be learned, anything to be gained from this ghoul just existing inside the bar in this strange dream. Yet another adventure. Yet another crazy alien landscape. And with one, domestic
always-
incident and several murders behind us,
It was an accident.
And those were
It was-
self-defense.
I didn't know.
I
we made our way into
made
the
a
streets
self-defense stand.
of Arventon. We won't be here next week, unfortunately, nor will I be for Strange Aeons the week after. So while we won't have anything next week, we should hopefully have some content for you the week after on the 28th. But Strange Aeons, unfortunately, is not going to return until the first week of October. Check out some of our sponsors if you want to get yourself some cool stuff. Our fun partners also help support the show directly. Arc and Forge, we use them for the map with all the cool effects. Yeah, they're pretty neat. I like them. Discount code UGT show. It's map making software too. It's not just a virtual tabletop. You can just build the maps in there. That's what, it's ridiculously versatile. Our newest partner, Easy Roller. Super fancy dice, super regular dice, whatever fun designs you want. Go take a look. Also, discount code UGT show. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for being
roll
here.
them all.
Sorry, I got
We'll see you
excited.
next time. Stay safe. Stay sane.